They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so, so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so, so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. It's 'cause you are. They'll gladly stagnate a living wage, snap the chains, bury it. Labor slaves in rusty cages dragged behind a chariot, led by Mr. Racial Jungle, Joseph or Iscariot, fighting over scraps as they barrage us all with variants and BuzzFeed clickbait, straight until we're paralyzed, trying to distract us from the concentration camps that Joe had swore he'd close but only chose to amplify, where they got 50-something kids in cages made for 5 to occupy. And no, she hasn't seen the camps, but Harris swears they're paradise. She tells us the facilities are safe, and that right down to the women, they are regularly sterilized. Then she throws her head back and she proceeds to laugh, that sort of heartless cackle you'd expect from someone working steadfastly on behalf of the virus and a Congress full of parasites. And where was I? I was busy cashing every blue check, demonstrating plainly all the narratives expected from the verified. I was busy breeding verbal leeches by the terabyte. Train them to exsanguinate the wealthy while they sleep at night. Bleed the oil barons dry and barren. Say they showed us how to share and now we share alike. Tell them I contracted rabies from a feral mic. Now I'm just another species losing sleep to noise pollution and these glaring lights, forced to change its habits and adapt to just survive. But now it's safe to say that some of us are thriving in the moment, throwing shit on presidential homes beneath the Paris skies. So if you feel like you're just powerless, I guess you bought the lie. But I can tell they're petrified of our collective might, 'cause I can hear those gentrifiers weeping at the sight of our collective rights. And I only can imagine the intensifying fear of knowing revolution's near, and all that's left to do is simply wallow in the thick anticipation of a rabid bite. And baby, one day you can ask your leaders just what that was like before you grab a slice. So if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. Honey, if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. See, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, and tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't, because we aren't. You see, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and make you build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, where they'll tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't, because we aren't.
Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust? Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust?
The last track, I think I only blinked once. I skipped lunch. Blinked twice. Christ, shut your eyes. Now open wide. Fascists took the nation and inflation took a supersize. It's sad to say your teachers couldn't quite make the ends collide. But now you'll probably get to see them on the weekends doing Uber drives. Say lube it with a little oil. One, it tastes expensive too. You'd be surprised how well it helps you open up your throat so you consume the lie of human rights that was sold to you by suits and ties, designer scents on plastic men with patient fangs and ancient vice. You know, the kind of greed that makes a person lose the sight of morals, so it's easier to sleep at night. It's easier to ease their minds and pick a foreign people we could demonize. If you take a sec to sink into how war criminals think, you'll know you'd never want to see inside. If every man's an open book to look within, theirs are bound in human skin and not designed for human eyes. They are wearing human skin, but they can simply not be humanized. They aren't worth the lowest of the poor, they swore to crucify. Holy sweet Geneva, there's a mass grave full of dead believers you called the police on cause you don't believe in squatters' rights. You believe the sanctity of human life is relative to human worth in terms of work and dollar signs. So listen when I say you need to find the light of day before it's too late to apologize. Like holy sweet Geneva, here's a mass grave you can colonize. Because you seem to love to talk about the spirit of America. But if you saw the spirit of this land's supposed character, I think that you'd be calling ICE. And I also think the actual America is truly represented by the call to ICE. Is represented best by the descendants of some immigrants bitching about the immigrants, snitching on some immigrants, then playing dumb and innocent like good little Christians when their neighbors get deported. Until they're screaming at the store that they waited 20 minutes more because the staff was short. Because some ordinary bigot started waging war on immigrants. And honey, we'll just keep deporting because like your first vote and each election since, it turned out that the man you are supporting ended up to just be twice the fucking bigot as the bigot that he wins against. But I was not among the herd. A single word from Biden stirred a tingle in the cynic sense. I knew that a vote for Joe was more like Reagan 2.0. I could smell that sarin smoke that choked around the river bend, and so I spoke about a living end, about an anchor thrown to drowning men, a democratic president, a country never found again. A man who marinated in the blood this land was founded in, a crime bill that contains sufficient lethal ends to drown us in. All written by a man who wears a crown of sins, who currently is sleeping in a bed of sins. And it's no wonder those who truly understand the meaning of democracy are not too keen to let us in. It's no wonder other countries can't conceive of skipping meals or missing rent or being on the streets because you can't afford your medicine. That's uniquely American. And Joe has proved to be the most disturbingly American of presidents. I shiver when I think of what's to come if he's the precedent. It's a wonder I can even function still to process all the rhymes through all the resonance. Bless my heart, I'm liminally reticent, standing on a threshold of bone, ash, and sediment, near a faded marker claiming this to be the grave of all my sentiments, exactly where I left them all and just how I remembered it. It's a wonder I can even function still to process all the rhymes through all the resonance. Bless my heart, I'm liminally reticent, standing on a threshold of bone, ash, and sediment, near a faded marker claiming this to be the grave of all my sentiments, exactly where I left them all, and just how I remembered it.
Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust? Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust?
Fuck.
So if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust?
Good morning, Sunday morning. Good morning, Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face. Nancy gonna cut you a check too late. 2 years after your funeral's paid, 2 years after the grave, she'll be a little stronger for all of the dollars she saved. Watching you wake, watching you cling to your family, slipping away. Watch her do nothing but pray. Watch her condemn the Republicans, take them to brunch and then shrug it away. Now watch us be outraged half of a day, then pick a new hero to face our leaders and think they could beat them, playing the game they played since Pelosi had real human blood in her veins. They're all one and the same, sold off stocks and they all maintain that the risk was benign and the virus was tame. Flash forward and 40 Sunday mornings fade, 250,000 people in its wake, and the cruise ship sailed today. So motherfucker, don't shine a light in my face. Wait.
Good morning, Sunday morning. Good morning,
Wait.
Sunday morning.
Wait. We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never.
100,000 pounds of vinyl chloride burned into the air and in the water with your fluoride. Today we'll demonstrate the role that profit plays in cost-benefit analysis to find the worth of your lives.
No, Indy left. What is happening here?
To check out IndependentLeft.news.
The Indie News Network.
Indie Left News.
Oh, hey, Indie Left.
IndependentLeft.news. Great work.
Indie Left News.
IndependentLeft.news.
Independent Left News.
Shout out to Independent Left News. Shout out.
Oh, what's up, Independent Left? Indie
Friend
Left.
show.
Thank you, IndependentLeft.news.
The INN, Indy, you're wonderful.
I think Indie was onto something.
Independent News Network, Indie News.
Yeah. What's up, Indy, over on Rockfin?
Independent News Network, also known as INN.
Indie Left News.
I don't know if I would have made it through that 3 weeks without Indy, honestly.
No, I was just going to ask Indy.
A huge thank you and shout out to Indie Left.
No, you know what we're doing? We're world building, Indy.
Indie Left News.
You were doing the INN recruiting.
Indie News.
Independent Left News.
Shout out to Independent Left News.
Check out Independent Left News.
Racket News.
I see Indy's in the chat. Hi, Indy. Okay, great. Bye.
No, don't go anywhere, please. Hi. Hey, there's 3 of us tonight. Check it out. And we got another disembodied voice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, INN's Kris Legion.
What's up?
What's up, everyone?
Hello. What's up, everyone?
Welcome back, Orale. We got Reef. We got Kris. We got a bunch of people here live in chat already. Angel's here, I see. We got the handsome cynic over there. We got Willie Bragg was the first one in tonight. Good on you, Willie. Thanks for jumping in and being here tonight.
Willie.
Himbo. We do. Nobody wants to work anymore now on Thursday nights, so at least lately. I think Bread and Circuses will be back next week. Not this week, but next week. So we'll find another time slot for that. Dr. Nick is here, I see. Angel, there's Angel. Make sure you sub and like, and welcome back, Kris. Absolutely. Thank you.
What's up?
Good to see you,
Glad
bro.
to be back.
Yeah. All right, Colin Reddix Carter. We got all the INN family in the house. Colin, the Mad Crab. We got Rick Solis. What's up, Rick? Wow. Okay, so it's been a busy, crazy week. How you doing, Reef?
Pretty good. Doing all right.
Reese got a big week.
What?
You got a big week coming up. Well, at least a big appearance.
I'll be on. What do we got? Monday. Me and Colin are going to be interviewing Miko Peled. That should be coming out Tuesday, I imagine. So stay tuned for that. We'll be talking about Israel and whatnot. Then Tuesday, I'll be on Misty's show at 6 Eastern. Gotta remember the times. On TNT Radio. So check that out. That should be fun. I'll be following George Galloway, so that'll be interesting.
Nice.
So he's on Monday, I think, and then Fee's on Wednesday, and Jimmy's on Thursday, and one of the Assange home people, I think, are coming Friday, right?
Yeah, the activists from London that they're staging some protest in September. So Misty said she would have them on to talk about what they're up to. But Reef's mic is low, is what Mad Crab is saying, and a little bit. It's a little low. I don't know why that is, but I hear Chris fine. So Reef has to turn himself up and down all day. He'll work on it. Okay.
Let me know
all
if
right.
it gets better.
So I'm going to start my spiel so we can get into this because Chris wrote an article, and that's one of the reasons why Chrissy's here with us tonight is I'm like, well,
yes.
How about now? Am I nice and loud now?
Now you're better. Reef sounds better than Tusker. Oh, I don't. I guess
I'm prettier too. God damn it!
That's like the mic.
You'll be fucking telling me.
I feel like I'm at the drive-through here. It's pretty good.
I know, right?
Tusker's alright. But yeah, so Chris has been writing some stuff on Substack, but in the meantime, I want to get through my spiel so we can get started and intro and get moving. So, welcome everybody. Like I said, to How Do We Miss That? How Do We Miss That is a show featuring articles written by independent journalists like this guy who expose corruption, cover workers organizing, and environmental crises while challenging corporate establishment narratives and talking points. New episodes stream live Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Rockfin, Substack, Facebook, and Telegram channels. And the podcast is usually published within a couple days at Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and more. So that's me. I'm your co-host, Indy. I forgot about that to tell you that. And so I am the founder and editor of the Indie Media Today Substack. I am the co-host of American Tradition with Jesse Jett on INN. And the co-host of Nobody Wants to Work Anymore on INN with this guy, the Snow Himbo, who's in there in chat. And I got Reef with me. He's INN's technical director and a co-founder as well.
Hello there.
Yeah. Creator and engineer and co-host for INN News. And we're all members, of course, of of Indie News Network, which is a collaborative family of independent content creators. You can find all our channels at inn.network. Like I said earlier, but our special guest tonight is INN's Kris Legion. He's pretty much been staying offline, save for writing over on Substack. So having him here is a real treat, and we love having him. I'm glad that he came out and decided to hang with his boys for a couple hours. So make sure share the link, like the stream, subscribe on our channel, all the platforms. Like I said, Rumble. I'm not even going to bother with the chats on Rumble. Dave Burt is over on the Rockfin already. Love you. Thank you so much for your support every week. Really, you're great. All right. So yeah, I wanted to
Let's get ready to Indy.
Well, before we get ready to Indy, I want to get ready to Chrissy and find out kind of what Chris has been kind of up to and give me a little tales from the unplugged land, because I've been kind of dying to know, because as someone who can't, I'll full on admit it, I'm addicted. I can't unplug even if I wanted to. The phone is constantly pulling me, the social medias, the network, news stuff. Mm-hmm. How do you unplug from it all, and what do you do? And how does that work?
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy, but it's sort of like basically the drama just gets to you after a while, and you're like, you just sigh about it, because basically everyone, it's just the disorganization on everything. I think I wrote an article about it, sort of explaining my feelings. I know you guys read it off, but I had a lot of issues with everything. So basically, it's not really hard. I was always the type of person that could just stop doing something. It was never like, if I smoked cigarettes, I could just stop smoking. It was always, addiction was never like a problem for me, as far as getting addicted to anything. So leaving it was sort of like just taking a breather from it. But it's like, why? But I basically turned into like George Carlin pretty much. And I've made like the conscious decision to look at everything from the outside in, to basically not be identified as anything. I don't want to be left. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be any sort of label or anything like that. I don't feel like, as far as, the division tactics, I don't want to be a part of it. So I sort of like, I focus like on basically on looking on things from the outside in. I don't look at, it's a very pessimistic view, because I know, like, I applaud you guys, because I know everyone in the activist space, the activist space is very, they're trying and they're doing their best. And, it's better. Like, I consider the people, people better than me, but I look at it as like, there's, it's useless. Like, you're not going to fix the system. It's too corrupt. And just going and tweeting about doing things that's never going to happen all day. More pertaining to the online left, I don't really like to focus on people that are actually going out there doing the groundwork, like people that are going out there to protest and people that are doing activism. It's more or less the people that are online all day, they tweet all day, they just post all day. They don't really take part in really, and then, they don't take part in actively trying to change things. But I look at it as, a very pessimistic sort of viewpoint, where it's just done. Like, it's too late. Like, man, our human race just can't do it anymore. And it's sort of like being plugged back into the matrix, but no, I know what I know. And it's like, I know what's really going on, but I don't need to prove it to anybody anymore. It's sort of like, it is what it is.
Right.
So, yeah. So I just look at it in that retrospect, and I just, I didn't want to work for anyone anymore. So I left that whole situation. I started my own company, so I just basically went my own direction. But I think, to me, it's just, all part of the division tactic. So I don't want to be part of that. I just look at it from the outside in. I don't, I look at society, I divorced myself from everything. So that's basically what I've done. I don't know, maybe I'll come back to it. I don't know. But right now it's like, I'm looking from the outside in on it. And I divorced myself from the human experiment. I feel people, I don't like people in groups. I judge everyone now individually. People are great as individuals, but people get into groups, and the group think sets in, and the division tactics set in. It's just, to me, I don't believe in anymore. I'm like in that zone now, and
problem gets serious.
So I don't believe there is no left, there is no right for me. There in actuality, there is no one that is a purist. There's no one that's on the left that's going to be right about every single thing, that's going to be fully left and agree on every issue, and there's no one on the right that's going to do the same. So it's just a thing where the system can't be changed. It's just to the point where corruption is from A to Z, and it's from the lowest levels of local government all the way up to the top levels. So very pessimistic, but that's just where I try to divorce myself from the whole situation.
Well, that's
so you're telling me labels are bad.
Labels
I
are
agree.
bad. Yeah, this guy kind of signs off every show saying that. Yeah, Colin is actually saying that social media has actually gotten worse since you left. So it probably would it may
in
not
some
be
ways
healthy to come back.
Right.
But like I said, this guy wrote an article this week, and I wanted to cover it, and that's one of the big reasons why I wanted to have him here. And he talked about Trump. And I love the fact that he's got a fresh set of eyes coming at this, not being involved in the soup that we're involved in every day in watching the day-to-day shit. So I don't know if you wanted to read this or just comment on it. I figured I would kind of I want people to read it and understand kind of what you're saying here.
Right.
You know, so right. I don't know if it feels weird for you to have me read that. I know I usually read the articles on my show, so.
You can pin him, by the way. Make it big so you can see stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing, though. The great thing about being unplugged is that you don't have people constantly attacking you and trying to, ruin you so that's a good part, staying low key. But if you want to read it out, I'll comment on it, or if you want me to read it, that's fine. Whichever way you like.
How about it? Yeah, I'll read it because just as I interpret. Yeah. Oh, let's let Reef read it. Yeah, because he hasn't really seen it.
Yeah, I don't do these often.
Yeah.
So,
go for it.
As you know, ex-Republican President Donald J. Trump has now been indicted on the count of conspiracy and one count of obstruction due to the January 6th insurrection, as labeled by the corporate state-cabled media. The exact counts were conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights and throwing ketchup at a wall. To date, as of August 2023, Trump faces 34 felony counts in New York in connection with... Why can't I see that word?
Hush. It's cut off. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's off the phone.
I don't either. So money payments to ex-porn star Stormy Daniels. He also faces 40 felony counts in Florida for allegedly hiding classified documents and impeding efforts to retrieve them. Over in Florida, he faces 4 felony counts in trying to overturn the 2020 election. And finally in Georgia, scroll back a little bit, Indy. Just hit control and scroll back on that. There you go. That's perfect. Altogether, nice. Trump may face over 100 years in prison if convicted on most counts.
Right. Okay. So that in Georgia, prosecutors were trying to find a way to charge him with election interference. That you skipped that, but
right.
But so
although many of us have laughed at the idea that liberals in the Democratic Party would ever think they could get Trump on a crime or let alone convict him, it was a startling wake-up call when the intelligence community and the DNC colluded together to come through on their promise on making Trump pay for his part in the January 6th so-called insurrection. While Trump and his MAGA cult thought that somehow Republicans in the highest levels of government and its oligarch owners would protect him, it seems that many diehard Trump allies have left him to the wrath of his enemies in Washington and elsewhere. Those of us on the outside of electoral politics knew that most Republicans became diehard Trump supporters simply because they did not want to suffer the same fate many of his political opponents did when they challenged him for office in the 2016 Republican primaries.
Right.
Now that the threat to their political careers and ambitions have no threat of being taken away via Trump's devoted base, Republicans like Chris Christie, John Bolton, Pence, and even Secretary of State Mike Pompeo have now denounced the ex-president and have aligned with the corporate intelligence community and its state-controlled cable news media.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
they don't care.
Yeah.
They only pretend to care.
Listen, I mean, I'm not Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter, and I'm not a MAGA supporter. But I look at it as basically, it's obvious. Like we can see exactly that the hate is so overwhelming for him that they're willing to basically circumvent whatever laws are left to basically twist the law into convicting him. And it's something that if you look when you go down further in the article, the repercussions of that
Well, and I think we all kind of knew that he was a vessel. He was a means to an end for a lot of these guys so that he could get Republicans in power, and they can do a lot of what they want to do. It may not be exactly what they want, but it was certainly going to be better than Joe Biden, they thought. I think that they thought incorrectly, and now that they have seen Joe Biden in office, in a lot of ways, even though he's funneling money to Ukraine. It's still helping their military contractor buddies and Wall Street and the banks and everybody else. And they're like, well, maybe Joe wasn't so terrible. But
right. And it's also that base. Like, this is what they're going to do to keep him from running. And what that does is it gets his base saying, okay, the system is done. It's not working. We have to, there's plenty of right-wing militias that are ready to go. So this might have a real serious repercussion.
Right. So
they're around me.
I'll pick up. It seems that anyone who views what's happening right now with Trump's indictments who is not the average neo-lib and MAGA cultist can see that this is clearly a political witch hunt coordinated by the powerful elitists within the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and the true rulers who lurk in the shadows of secrecy and power. Trump was not the great savior and his followers made him out to be. He was just another powerful tyrant with only one quest: to achieve more power, which in essence is pretty much the same obsession that every single president has had ever since Kennedy presidency. So what Trump did wrong was several things, but what comes to mind in Chris's analysis here of the current dilemma was that he said the quiet parts out loud, emboldened by the fact that the extreme wealthy could do whatever they want, say whatever they want, control anyone they want. The deception of false freedom and democracy would be potentially threatened and could possibly expose the true power elite and confirm to the masses that the system was fundamentally broken and corrupted to its core, as Kris was saying before. So the illusion of freedom and the illusion of choice is a sacred cow to the true power elite, and their ability to move and hide in the shadows is the key to holding it all together. Yep.
Right. And I just want to also want to state this is that I compare it to, like, in those vampire movies where you have like the older vampires and then the newer ones, and the newer ones are like, we should eat the humans. Like, why are we hiding? Like, let's go out and eat them. And then the older vampires are like, we got to stay secret. We got to keep low key. We can't be doing this. And I think Trump represents that. He's like saying it out loud. Listen, we're the oligarchs. We run everything. Like, why are we hiding it? Let's just say what we want. We want the oil. Let's go get it. Like, why are we hiding it? And they don't want that because they need that illusion that this is a real, that is like, it's still a democracy, and they want that illusion of democracy. So that's basically where I was coming from in that excerpt right there.
I looked at this picture at first. I realized that, like, I think it actually is supposed to say vindicated now. So, like, it was first Trump indicted, but now it's Trump vindicated, not indicated again and again. Indicted. But but it's like, in people's minds, all this witch hunting.
Your theory gets blown out by, like,
the fact that
the lady's shirt. No, the lady's shirt also says that there's no V. Like,
so what's with the
like? It's one thing if the thing was folded.
All right, so
indicted, indicated,
indicated again. I don't even know what that means, but another major reason that they decided to go full force on Trump's path to his own destruction is that when it comes to ruling over the masses, they must be approved by the proper political channels and top officials in Washington. For example, when Bloomberg took it upon himself, right, to jump into the 2020 Democratic primaries with the obvious protest from DNC officials to stop Bernie Sanders, the DCCC in his first debate ordered every Democratic debate on every candidate on the debate stage to gang up on him and destroying his chances of forever winning a seat at the table. Is that what happened, do you think, with Bloomberg?
Yeah, and Bloomberg, you could tell, obviously, he jumped in. He was a Republican. He switched parties. He jumped into the 2020 debate to stop Bernie because he was freaking out. He actually thought Bernie had a chance of winning. And they were sort of like, the way it looked to me, it was like they were like, don't come in. We got this. Don't worry about it. We're not going to let him win anyway. Don't worry. And he did not believe him. He's like, no, I'm the oligarch. I have to go in here and do this myself. I have to stop him. And I think that's what happened. And when he disobeyed them, they ganged up on the debate stage. And the first debate, you could see them. They all went at him.
Well, a lot of them did. I thought it was because they changed the Democrats actually changed the rules to let him on the stage in the first place. Like, I thought wanted him there at least for a specific purpose.
Right.
And then they let Elizabeth Warren basically destroy him and call him misogynist and ask him all kinds of questions. It didn't even take all of them. It just took one or two of them. But that's why I just wanted to ask about that one.
Right.
But Trump did not gather the support and permission from the higher ups, and therefore the true rulers at the top swore vengeance towards him for his disobedience and belief that he could ever be one of them. And I think that was also part of it, was just he's been kind of running between the raindrops and getting away with shit his whole life. And he's going to keep doing that because now it's in their interest to allow him to continue to do that. And I laughed at this one when you talk about Michael Rappaport, right?
Uh-huh.
The current climate has been incredibly toxic and seems like it'll never let up as we drive down the abyss of systemic doom. Well, doomerism is a thing. I'm kind of there too, and I try to stay positive. I got little kids like you do, and it's like it's hard. Stay positive,
yes.
It's hard.
No, don't be like me.
It's hard, like, to be up for the kids every day. It's like, hey, they're looking forward to this. Somebody was like, when was the last time, like, we were actually looking forward to the future? Like, we were in the 80s, like, everything, like, in the 60s, the 70s, the future is going to be great. The future is going to be amazing. And now it's like, nah.
Yeah.
But unhinged liberal celebs like Michael Rappaport, staunch haters of Trump, have been ecstatic over the news of his indictments and possible convictions. The obsession's real. TDS is real, and it may be a scary moment soon after the monster they created in their heads faces his fate, and they don't have him to possibly hate and obsessively hate anymore. Well, guess what? They're going to find another one. Whether it's the Satan, right? The scary question is, which people will they target and hate next? I think they've already started to target those people, and it will be Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right. I've already seen a lot of stuff being thrown at her and working towards unseating. And that guy too, right? But will MAGA be the next target for the new indictments? Of course, liberals wouldn't bat an eye. Hate's contagious. I think the left is also like the independent left is also potentially vulnerable. And
yeah, we're next.
Somebody was talking about how.
Yeah. I mean, they have us where I want us. I mean, we're contained. In my opinion, we're contained right now. And I mean, they don't really need to do anything. Honestly, we really don't make a dent if we really look at it. As far
we've been talking about this frequently on other shows too, about like there's even the one that they come out probably the hardest among our space has no power.
Yeah,
Jimmy Dore.
Zero power. Like the dude's got a bone disease. He's not storming the Capitol tomorrow. Like, you're gonna be okay.
Not only if you compare him to all the other large audiences, he's got a relatively small audience. I mean,
small one.
It's just funny.
Like
how
they have every other bit of media controlled and the narrative controlled. Like, what are they worried about?
Right. Everything.
They're really worried about people like us. People like.
We're the only.
I guess
we're the only voices of dissent.
Well, basically, what they do is their job is. They know that they can never destroy the left, right? They know they can't destroy it, but what they do is they contain it. That's what they do with terrorists. They contain terrorism. They know that they can't stop things, but they contain it. So as long as they keep the left small and in a corner where nobody can hear them, that's where they want the left. So they know they can eradicate you, but they know they can keep you contained. And that's basically what they do. So if when you try, say your channel gets traction, they keep it down. They want to cut it off before it grows, right? They don't want it to be big, and then they have to go after it. But once sometimes that people do get through, but that's when you see them collectively go after them. So,
right. Well, it's funny.
That's what I think about that.
There's this country song that's taken off in the past week. Crab and Jesse are going to talk about it tomorrow.
Has its own issues
on Politically Homeless, actually, on our Monday night show at 9 Eastern tomorrow night. So definitely check that out. That was really, it was a really interesting conversation that we've been having all day. Is this like a setup? How did it get through all the filters and go this kind of viral this quickly? My take is that right-wing media at this point has created its own ecosystem so that somebody can become this big without anybody in mainstream corporate media ever knowing anything about it or have anything to do with it. And it drives them crazy that they don't know anything about it, can't control it, and don't understand it. This guy, he's a lunatic. I didn't want to show his nonsense on the indictment, right? But So you got shit libs like that, and Deborah Messing, and Alyssa Milano, and all these people that are screaming about Trumpy, Trumpy, Trump. Meanwhile, the guy hasn't been president in 3 years. The whole thing is to try to stop him from running for president again, because 100%. They think he's going to win. So let's get to the point of all this. He says, I can write for hours about this and about this weird civil war thing that's been drummed up by legacy media, by the order of intelligence community, and whatever Wall Street entity is profiting from all this. And going to initiate a small history lesson here. Go back to the Roman Empire, when their democracy was short-lived and the Republic came under the rule of the first emperor for far much longer. Knowing that they didn't have a long lifespan as a republic, even though corruption took apart the empire either way. Right? The United States, similar to the Roman Empire, cannot avoid its inevitable future, which at this point is comparable to Rome. So what am I really saying here? Well, that everything is collapsing and everyone's basically corrupt. So time is running out with the current system of government and finance in the West, as Trump will most likely go away to jail. I think that's a shocking prediction.
Yes, that's my prediction.
I disagree. I think a lot of us would, but he says he's pretty
I would
sure.
say,
okay, go ahead.
I would say on the least he would be under house arrest, but we'll see. Whatever keeps him away from that, from that podium debate stage.
I think they let him get away with it, because if they convict him of that crap, who else are they going to convict of stuff like that?
Oh, that would be
they have to protect themselves too.
Well, that's the purpose of the article. That's where they're setting the stage for. If that does happen, that's where it's going.
Says, but what's even more interesting, I'm pretty sure that many people in this movement who've held back their drive to commit heinous acts of terrorism will most likely decide to go into action, feeling that the fairy tale of the communist threat, quote unquote, has taken a boot kick to their constitutional republic, which is hilarious. But what's scarier is what happens after Joe Biden's presidency. And this is where I really start to align and agree with you, that with Trump potentially incarcerated and a new president on the horizon, but even without a new president, even with Trump as president on the horizon, the next president, whether Republican or Democrat, will likely make plans to overthrow the government by dividing the power elite, in fact, fracturing the country even more.
As a company, yeah.
If that's we basically are the United Corporations of America. I hate to credit the douchebag that said that the first time I heard it, but he's another guy from this area that I don't want to mention. He who shall not be named.
Yes.
Don't be rude.
Yeah, the reason is to avoid his own possible prosecution by his own political opponents after his presidency. So now they're going to set up so that whatever they do, they can't be charged with something after they're gone. Trump's imprisonment will set the tone. Joe Biden may suffer the same fate if Republican judges and prosecutors decide to go after him, or most likely Hunter. And in Kris's estimation and opinion, he foresees the next president and his Justice Department taking these steps because they'll likely be Republicans. This obsession with Trump's prosecution by his enemies will most likely have these very consequences in this prediction. And that's what Kris means, is that, turn it around, because Democrats aren't going to be in power forever. And they'll use whatever you do as precedent for what they're going to do once they get back into power. So if you spend your 3-4 years prosecuting Trump, what the hell do you think they're going to spend the next 3-4 years doing?
And Democrats do what they do best. They set the pavement for Republicans, and then Republicans implement that. They set it up. They set the stage for it.
And nobody here, to be fair, we're no fans of either side. But
to be fair,
the prosecution of Trump, right, whether he's found guilty or not, will send warning signs to all future presidents that they can possibly be persecuted by their political opponents after they leave office. Not from war crimes, but by political opinion and orders by enemies who lurk in elite shadows of power. Because they've already got that dirt from before he was ever president, like they have with Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
All right? In a just world with little to no corruption, the incarceration of most Washington officials would set a better precedent. Right? But unfortunately, it would highly be unlikely for that scenario to ever occur with a current system that's corrupted from the small condo board in Florida to the highest court in the land. And we're going to talk about the highest court in the land being corrupted later tonight. All right, Clarence Thomas, holy crap. The crap that guy's been getting away with for 35 years is amazing. But the emperor is very close to his power dying in this empire, in this dying empire. The empire is very close to power in this dying empire, and he will fear his prosecution because every president so far has been a criminal, and only criminals can qualify for the position. Yeah. That's a good one.
Right.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
After this,
the issue is like the emperor hasn't ever had power here.
Let's be right. Now let's be clear. Like, but behind every dictator and emperor, there are people behind them that run stuff. That's obvious. Hitler had that. There were people behind the scenes, and he was just the one that's out front doing it. But it was more of
right. I think everyone.
Thing.
Like with we all knew Bush wasn't running things,
right?
And they made it appear as Cheney was running things, when in reality it was the entirety of the deep state and the military powers.
Right. So right, and then in case there's a coup or a rebellion, they're safe, and the person out front is the one that gets taken down.
Which is why your leaders, I'm not necessarily like focused on paying attention to, because like. You get one out, they're going to replace them with another one.
Yeah.
And 3 more on top of it. So it's like you're constantly dealing with this hydra of figureheads that you don't need to.
Yeah.
You got to find the source of that, which is, you're not going to vote out the Rothschilds. Like, that's not happening.
Right.
So figure that one out.
Yeah.
Orcas seem to know what to do.
Yeah.
But Trump defied. Well, listen, in a weird way, it seems like they already did it. So what Kris is saying is that after this emperor takes power, will it all end as Rome did? With the military unaliving him and anointing their own pre-chosen ruler for us? Well, who knows? Because in a weird way, it seems like they kind of already did. Trump defied their orders in 2016. You mean like they just did in
Ecuador?
Oh, my God. But no, Trump defied their orders in 2016. So that meaning that he won. They wanted Hillary. So he went out there and won. That was defying their orders. Then he defied their orders again by not going along with Ukraine, for example, and not, trying to ask questions and not funding things. Not a great guy, no, but didn't.
He got his mind right in the end.
Yeah, well, sort of. But for them,
well, I mean, his focus was on China. It was not on China and South America. Focus was not on Ukraine or Europe.
And on uniting the Middle East also. It was on uniting the Middle East, and the Abraham Accords and, China. Making deals with Saudi Arabia and opening up Dubai. Right. Hell, Dubai, they bought that Park Avenue property from the Kushners for, I think it was $900 billion, some 900 million, some stupid number. Right. It was nowhere worth near that, and it was an albatross that had been around their neck for years, and he had been trying to get rid of it, and basically they kind of threw that in as part of a big deal for the United States. Nobody ever looked into that. And again, corruption on both sides. Trump is corrupt, Biden's corrupt. And I think
you are
Ryan,
fake news.
Well, yes, but Ryan Knight may have also had a quote about that today, about how Trump and DeSantis and all the Republicans, McConnell, they're all corrupt. The GOP is corrupt. Same thing with Biden and Pelosi and the Democrats. They're all corrupt. It's a big uniparty, and we're not in it. But the prosecution of Donald Trump will possibly be the start of the end to our illusion of freedom to those who pretend it is not. That's pretty interesting, except for the shitlibs think that this is the right thing to do, and they want to see him trotted out in an orange jumpsuit and thrown in jail. They think that's the right thing to do, right?
They think that's going to be great optics for Biden. They're not even necessarily thinking about, so.
Right. But that the end result will be accepted by society that seemingly now prefers to be ruled over with enthusiastic, purposeful ignorance. And yes. Again, that's this guy sitting below us. Kris Legion wrote this. KrisLegion.substack.com. So follow him over there. That's about the only place you can these days, waking up. Right?
Yeah. I'm in there. That's where I'm at.
So you can hook him up.
Do more of that.
And he's co-publishing it to INN, which we love. I love getting the alert. Like, oh shit, Kris just wrote something else.
It's like, I throw in an article here and there,
And shout out to the crab on the on the thumbnail here that's going to go out for the clip that goes out for this segment tonight. We'll do that during the week. All right. So we got nice family in here. Everybody's here. What up? We need Crab. Yes, keep writing, Chris. Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Crab also wants to do like a sit down. He wants to know all about what you think about RFK. He's got all kinds of questions. I see him just peppering chat. But
and then he's like, even though electoralism is bullshit,
right.
Crab says.
Yes, let's talk about electoralism.
Treat it as such. Right.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it's all waste, but you know, it's sort of like electoralism is sort of like the little stuff they'll let you do with electoral politics, but when it comes to the big situation, you know, the big issues, like the big policy issues, it's like, no. And that is don't mess with the war machine, don't touch the healthcare, don't mess with the World Bank. So those are like the three rules that you're not allowed to do. Is the three big ones you're not allowed to touch. The energy, sector. When you're in politics, but if you want to like maybe build a road after a few years of fighting, you can maybe get the road built in like 25 years and things like that. But
only if that politician has to drive on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Juan Guaido, thanks, Max RJ. I remember Juan Guaido. Oh, that's great. Now we need. I gotta disagree with you here. Who's saying that we've got TDS in the other direction, that if we don't think that we would be in Ukraine at this point. I disagree, because he was actually trying to, look, he had Vindman out. They tried to bring him up on impeachment for not trying to fund Ukraine. He knew that there was something going on with Burisma and Hunter Biden. He was not for funding Ukraine. He wanted to have a better relationship with Russia and with Putin than these neocons like Jake Sullivan and Victoria Nuland that were all out of power, and they were working with West executive advisors trying to get the military technology contracts with the tech companies and embed the military with tech, so that they didn't even necessarily need the power of the presidency. That's what I saw happening. And I did not necessarily see Trump's focus. Actually, he wanted to find out, hey, can you help us out? They wanted information on Hunter Biden in order to exchange for that money. They gave up the money in the end because it was Congress that appropriated.
Right. Let me call the Russians to help.
Right. This guy. And I'm not, again, we're not fans of Trump, but there were other priorities that he had, and I don't think that funding Ukraine to the tune of $150 billion was one of them, even if the military did. Getting out of Afghanistan, but maybe he would never have done Ukraine and just gone right into China and Taiwan. No, I don't want to debate anyone on this. China. Honestly, I love you, and I appreciate you. I'm just giving you my take on it, and I appreciate that you put that into chat, and I wanted to respond to it. But
we do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
Right. Colin's saying that if anything, we would have been in Ukraine if Hillary was president. Trump delayed their plans, and that's what I see is that Ukraine was more of a democratic operation, whereas China is more of a Republican operation. Right. Or they would have invented their own, whether that is the Middle East, and tried to destabilize more of the Middle East and done more with Syria and Lebanon and Yemen. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff. So we have another article here from
Taibbi. Who did that operation fast track operation?
Warp speed?
Vaccination warp speed. Yeah.
Warp speed.
That thing. Yes. Who did that again? Yeah, I remember.
Right. So Matt Taibbi, I have to give him a lot of credit. We featured Matt Taibbi a lot on this show because I like him, and I have for years. He kind of is a bellwether to me of when he starts to get it, he kind of brings the normies over in a way. And I hate using the term normies, but the people who aren't necessarily plugged in, if Matt Taibbi writes it, they tend to pay a little bit more attention because he's shown up on their TV occasionally, and he's a name that they know from Rolling Stone, and he's got credibility, and they've tried to attack his credibility in the last year, of course, in front of Congress. Debbie Wasserman Schultz with the Twitter file stuff, and that he's become Elon's personal stenographer, yes, for exposing the fact that they've been in bed with the intel community, and they don't like that very much. But
well, he was high in liberal circles. Like he was on Bill Maher. He was
right,
like at DNC conventions. Like he was one of them. He considers himself a liberal. So a classic liberal, but
a traditional liberal, right? But not not the democratic quote unquote small L neocon liberal that exists today, warmongering, anti-free speech, pro-censorship kind of, that's. But what he's talking about, and he's finally getting it, I feel like, either that or he's at least saying the quiet part out loud, which is that, again, it's not left versus right, but rich versus poor, top versus bottom, which is what we've been saying. It's money versus everyone else, and that the realignment of major parties away from blue and red and toward a rich versus poor dynamic is America's most uncovered political story. Not by us.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Undercovered. All right. Undercovered by whom? The people who it is completely against their interests to undercover. So there you've got the curtsy queen, Kyrsten Sinema, on his victory lap tour with the Native Americans. It's absolutely disgraceful. But Matt's saying here, you got two sets of figures collected by 4 years apart by the same research firm, SSRS, for the wonderful CNN, which was that Trump had disapproval ratings, strongly disapproved 48%, strongly approved 28%. And that Biden this year in August, strongly disapproved 42%, strongly approved 15%. Plunging numbers for Trump prompted stories like TLDR, Trump's in 2020 trouble. Biden headlines this week try to speak an upbeat narrative into reality, the most humorous probably being Biden heads west for a policy victory lap, and Biden goes west to tout the economy.
What is he, Lord of the Rings? We got to go west?
According to a slew of reports, the president's touting trip, right?
He'd start playing Stairway now.
He's going to celebrate growth in manufacturing and opportunities afforded by the Inflation Reduction in Chips and Science Act. Okay, and you can expect us to highlight more
potato chips, right?
Groundbreakings of projects and more ribbon cuttings, and that's of course what their narrative manager and their chief of staff, deputy chief of staff Natalie Quillian, told the Washington Post, which is the narrative manager of record. Ribbon cuttings.
Yeah,
are a great
the
idea,
thing that literally. No, pause. Ribbon cuttings are essentially ceremonial scissors. Like, yes, it's like the classically parodied version of a shitty politician doing something just for PR. That's a fucking photo op. Like, that's it.
Isn't that what he does? Thank you, Oz.
Like, literally, like Michael Scott is going to be out here with the ceremonial scissor for The Office. Like, but yet nothing happened.
Right.
Like, that's what that is.
Just to bring it back to Kyrsten Sinema real quick. I've never seen any politician so proudly corrupt. Like, she's proud to be corrupt. She embraces it and she's like, yeah, I'm corrupt. Like,
Kristen Sinema. Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, what could go wrong with Joe Biden and giant ceremonial scissors? Oh, when he can't even walk straight on a podium. Holy moly. I love that.
He's gonna trip and stab someone with the scissors. I know.
Or he's just gonna walk in the other direction and cut the wrong ribbon, or who knows what Joe. But the White House plan is commendable, right? His commendable
break here.
No, it's commendable in its boldness, declaring economic victory and sending Biden to battleground states to take a bow. It reminds me very much, and I think he even mentions the mission accomplished banner behind George W. Bush. This is in the context of still bolder reports that explain poor numbers for Biden by claiming that they're the fault of the latest indictment of opponent Trump, which has eclipsed White House efforts to highlight Biden accomplishments. So they're still blaming this all on Trump.
They're still blaming still.
The economy is Trump's fault.
You know the thing.
Not all is lost, however, according to Democratic pollster Anna Greenberg, quoted by the AP, of course, the narrative manager of record. Although the Trump indictment sucks the oxygen out of everything else, she said, it's also hampered the Republicans' ability to talk about other issues like the economy. Yeah. People say,
when would they ever? Like, that's why they like doing it.
Well, they would talk about how
easy.
inflation's out of control thanks to Joe Biden and his policies, and that's what the Republicans would normally do. And she's saying that the oxygen setting sucked out of it. No, they're not. It's not. They're still talking about that. But people like to say nothing matters anymore, but the conversation that you're not having actually does matter. Try saying that one 3 times fast. And you know what?
But the conversation that you're not having actually does matter. The conversation you're having actually does. Oh, sorry. What?
Right. So back about 5 months ago, I wrote an article talking about how we need to unplug. And one of the things I wanted to say is if you do walk to a room while you're unplugged and you happen to catch a news story, listen for a couple of things. And one of them is, what don't they tell you about that story? And what are they omitting and why? And I think that's kind of what she's trying to say. But because what you're not saying actually does matter, the conversation you're not having. Okay. A lot of coverage of 2024 is going to be like this, in which aides, pundits, pollsters speak like fridge magnet haikus or Alan Greenspan pressers. There are so many now taboo subjects in American politics that even data journalists, whose job it is to give us cold, hard facts, are forced to communicate in allusions and metaphors because what's happening can't be discussed. Why? Because American politics has long been a careful truce in which careful economic tensions were obscured by an elegantly phony two-party structure that kept urban and rural poor separate. It nurtured a politically unadventurous middle class. Right, an unadventurous middle class, and tended to the needs of the mega rich no matter who won. That system is in collapse. So voters are abandoning the traditional blue-red identities and realigning according to more explosive divisions based on education and income. Again, I don't think that that's a surprise to anyone here on this show or in chat. But as the middle class vanishes, the replacement endgame emerges. A small pocket of very wealthy and very educated, for whom elections have now mostly been ceremonial and to whom more fraught realities of the current situation are an annoyance, will move to one side, and that's your 15% strongly approved group of Joe Biden. Remember how we had that number up here, strongly approved 15%, right?
Yeah, it's like religion. It's like literally they just want the ritual of it, mainly. You know,
all right, and
like
then,
we'll get some choir boys out to shake some incense around, and it'll all be groovy.
Right, those are the Marie Antoinettes who'll go to the razor pledging loyalty to the regent, even if he's a loon in a periwig or Joe Biden.
Periwig.
Yep.
Wig.
Periwig, yes. Like the ceremonial from the 1700s, that type of thing. Yes. The inevitable other constituency is just everyone else, which should be a larger demographic. But the only real reason he sees that polls are at 43-43 or perhaps slightly in Biden's disfavor is because the other actor is Donald Trump. I disagree with that too.
Which they're worried about.
But if it was Ron DeSantis, it would still be 43-43. If it was,
I don't think so.
If it was Tim Scott, if it was Tim Scott.
No, I think Ron DeSanctimonious actually would get far less approval. And like I think Biden is actually more likable than that guy. Because like that guy seems slimy. At least Biden seems like he doesn't know what he's doing and is a lovable fucking grandpa.
So maybe that's who they want to go against. That's who they want.
That's the Pied Piper. That's who they want, because that's the only they'd have a much better chance at doing it with that guy than Trump, who people actually, I don't, but some people actually like and find him charismatic.
He's also been able to generate a ton of sympathy for him since he's left the office in this woe is me, they're coming after me, I'm just an ex-president.
They're coming after me
again. Right?
It's terrible. They're the worst people.
If Democrats should be panicking because they're not trouncing an opponent whose biggest campaign events have been arraignments, it's just as bad for Trump that he polls even with a man who's a threat to walk into a propeller or carry a child into a forest every time he walks outside.
To walk into a propeller.
You think he'll get the black vote? I don't know if he's going to get the black vote this time, though.
Well,
Biden.
If Cornel West is running, he won't to a point, but all they need is Jim Clyburn to come out and put his arm around him, and he'll get at least enough of it to matter. But still, the object
figuring out whether you're for me or
I don't know.
Trump,
I don't think Jim Clyburn can save him.
Black.
I don't think Jim Clyburn's going to be able to save him this time.
I don't know.
You ain't black.
I put up a poll somewhere. I saw a poll, and it was like still 92% of people like, and it was just like an independence poll of someone that was like, okay, what would you this? And it was like, still, most of the people, they're not paying attention. They think that things are relatively going okay, even though things are a little bit screwed up here or there. He's basically been a steward. But here, so the abject horror of Trump that Trump inspires among the Georgetown set may be his greatest political asset and a reason that the realignment seems to be proceeding even with him around. So what do they mean? That the first evidence of such a realignment would be one party becoming dominant among affluent voters, which is definitely happening. Democratic affiliation, which not long ago, far less likely in richer congressional districts, is now as mandatory as a social accessory in wealthy suburbs as neck tucks or $14,000 kids' birthday parties. All right. Ohio's Marcy Kaptur, who was one of the last old school liberals, small L, left in Congress, launched a tirade about this in March to Business Insider, producing charts to visually demonstrate the phenomenon. Page 1 on the left, heavily blue, shows the richest seats. On the right are the poorest. How is it possible that Republicans are representing the majority of the people who struggle, she said. Huh. How about that?
They don't want people who struggle to represent anyone in government. So
this is a fascinating chart that I encourage everyone to go to racket.news and to check out. Rich district, poor district.
Meanwhile, all those Reds are still doing incredibly well.
Yes.
Like,
well, the leaders in those red districts, but what they're saying is the districts themselves are the poorest districts, and they're the ones that are electing Republicans. The wealthier districts are electing Democrats. That's what he's saying. All right. That once extreme racial splits are also eroding. We started to see this in 2020 when Trump lost the White House due to slippage among white men and somehow gained among women, black men, and Hispanic voters, which was surprising to me too. This was dismissed as an anomaly then, but 3 years later, the phenomenon appears to be widening. The Democrats' loss of Hispanic voters shows up repeatedly in surveys, and stories over and over now show how Trump is making gains beyond statistical error with black men in particular, as much as 18%, according to a recent Reuters Ipsos poll. I totally dismiss polling, honestly. I think polling is all bullshit.
I mean, it can be. It can also, I mean, any numbers can be misrepresented and construed, but what's like depending on how they ask and how they question.
I mean, the problem is how big are the polls and how many people they ask
and when
they ask
right. They're so they can bias this in so many ways. Exactly how they ask the questions, etc. How they position, even the responses, like where the multiple choices sit, can have an impact. But it's becoming harder to hide.
But you can still.
Like Ice Cube is talking about finding other dancing. It's not even that they love Trump. It's that they realize that the Democrats, and this is
anyone else. Anyone other than Biden. It's this.
Daryl, over at Black in the Empire, all day. Like, the Democrats must want to take out a hit on this cat, because all this guy does all day is expose how shitty they are and how badly they've abandoned you. And the only thing anybody really can say is, but Trump, or you're a Putin puppet. And that's really all he's accused of all day. He's like, dude, I'm a veteran. I've been in this country 40 years. I've been voting Democrat. I voted Obama. I got a son in college. Like, whatever. He hung out with Colin a couple of months ago, Rage Against the War Machine. Like, Daryl, Black in the Empire. Yes, he's an American, folks. Don't believe
he's
the
a
hype.
real guy.
Don't believe the hype. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that what he's saying there is exactly why I tuned out, because I was like, I'm not getting attacked by people who are against me politically. I'm getting attacked by people who are agreeing with me politically. People are supposed to be on my side. Like, what kind of movement are you going to start where you have someone calling you an op or
well, they don't like your tone.
They don't like my tone, or I said the wrong word. It's
they won't acknowledge that there's Nazis in Ukraine. How about that? Like, all day gaslighting you. What do you mean? No, but he's saying the data journalism reaction to all alarming polls has mostly been to dismiss them as meaningless, because at this point, voters haven't given it much thought yet to things, right? But also, poll watchers are comforted by the fact that 8 in 10 black voters still insist they won't vote for Trump. Wait, why are poll watchers comforted by that? What do poll watchers care whether they vote one way or another? That is a problem right there. That shows the inherent bias that's there. This discounts that apathy still may result in minority voters sitting out elections or pulling a lever for Green Party candidate Cornel West, either of which would exacerbate the same isolation problem for the Toff Party. In fashion, Democrats have dealt with the West issue in the most insulting and counterproductive manner possible, with CBC Chairman Gregory Meeks, for instance, scoffing that voters won't be hoodwinked by a sideshow. That's basically how they're treating Cornel, is that he's a sideshow because they don't know how to deal with him and calling out their imperialism.
Well, it is refreshing that he's running it the fact the way he's running. I mean, not as an independent. I mean, a third party guy. With the Green Party, because he's the only one, man. The only one that's doing it. I mean, the rest of running is Democrats.
I'm going to help you out on this one, Indy, because it involves Brazilian. Yeah. More important than the fact of these charges are the reasons. In March, the American Enterprise Institute surveyed 6,000 respondents, as noted by political scientist Rui Teixeira. I imagine, since it's Brazilian.
Teixeira.
Yeah.
Yes.
Teixeira.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
He's a moderate.
I'm thinking of Glover.
Right. So as noted by him,
Glover Teixeira.
Moderate to conservative minorities by wide margins opposed reallocating police funding, described racism as a problem of individuals as opposed to institutions, and said by 70 to 26 margin that transgender athletes should only be allowed to play on sports teams that match their birth gender, quote unquote. The numbers were opposite for college grads, especially white college grads who, for instance, agreed that racism is, quote, built into our society by a staggering 82 to 18 margin. This is what the right wing calls the indoctrination of our children. And this is why they're trying to eliminate critical race theory, because now they believe that racism is built. And you know what? I kind of agree with that. And maybe it's because I am a white college grad. I am. Admittedly so, but in a lot of ways, and people hate hearing this, but racism, we're a country built on white supremacy and racism, and it still exists in our system today. And if you don't believe it, talk to any of our brothers and sisters of color anywhere in our space, and they'll tell you white supremacy still exists today, and it's prominent, prevalent, and still here today. And we're fighting alongside them to eliminate it and stomp it out. Right?
Yeah, and hit it with a steel chair.
Hell yeah. Give me a hell yeah.
I mean, I agree. Take it from a person who had the cops called on him for standing outside someone's house. Talking to someone for saying that I was looking into
a very
driveways,
serious crime.
Saying I was trying to steal something out of somebody's driveway. So it's
first you're standing outside of someone's house, then you're breaking and entering.
That's right.
It's a slippery slope.
I mean, I was just looking through the window.
Yeah, it's called loitering. That's what you were doing, you loiterer.
Now, Matt, we know that Matt kind of he runs in this political kind of journalistic elite circle.
He's been in it for a minute.
And you're not, he only goes so far, because if you go beyond that, they won't have you on the shows, and they basically will cancel you, and you lose your very lucrative life. So the fact that he's starting to go here, this is stuff Whitney and T-Lav and others were talking about 2-3 years ago, but he finally is allowing this to come out to the forefront, which is that historically aristocrats lose it when their weird affectations outweigh educational advantages, when they start buggering rare animals or amassing giant hose collections or falling into crackpot cults that they then impose on the populace.
I think out of everyone, they're probably mad at him the most. Even more than the Gray Zone, because he was considered one of them.
They were one of us.
You were one of us, and I think that
same thing with Mate and Assange,
but he was he was on cable news, he was on everything. I mean, I think they look at him like a betrayal, and the Twitter files was like the big sin that he committed against the media, exposing.
Yeah, well, he got one letter wrong, so
Yeah, but that's to me, I think out of everyone, he would probably be the next Assange. They would go after him to put him away, and they did already threaten him on that.
Yeah, they sure have. So, they sent the IRS to his house. They threatened him with a lawsuit. But now they've dropped that case, supposedly. That's now been dismissed. But he said that the American variants already sound like aristocrats who use words like deplorable without irony and have a habit of believing things ordinary people instinctively find ridiculous. They're also enamored with the same mystical nonsense that captivated historical predecessors, with rich white co-eds gobbling up Ibram Kendi texts the way that guilt-ridden Russian nobles lined up for the purifying touch of Rasputin. Their experts, quote-unquote, even gather in places like Davos or concoct Swiftian parodies of upper-class condescension like the West's economic let-them-eat-the-bugs plan. So
Swiftian.
He's now...
What is he likes Tay-Tay?
He's now allowed to say that. He's now allowed to talk about the World Economic Forum and the Let Them Eat Bugs plan and Agenda 2030.
Well,
and
I think that speaks more to the fact that, like, it's more out in the open. Like, it's hard to deny, you know?
It is, except that that is verboten. The minute you start talking about that as a journalist, you're finished in their mind because that's when they dismiss you as the crackpot. The minute you start talking about what their real motivations are and what they're doing behind the scenes.
New World Order. WEF, New World Order.
You become Alex Jones to them. It's why they did what they did to Alex Jones. And the older I get and the more I do in media, the more I realize Alex Jones.
Yeah,
he wasn't the monster. He wasn't the monster they all made him out to be in so many ways. Now he was crazy.
No, yes, he was. He was just a different kind. He's paid too. Like, he's paid to do that.
They turned the frogs gay. All right.
He turns real information into frogs gay.
But he said that after
and then everyone, like, then if you talk about that, you know, like, that's his job.
Right. He brings it out to the point where if you then mention it, you become as crazy conspiracy and you know, out there as he is.
I think early in his career, he was more legitimate. I think once he broke,
he used to sound like a Democrat. Like, if there's videos, if you go back in him, he's like literally doing like lefty stuff, and then he started doing the Bohemian Grove stuff, and like
but it became like Benny Hill. It became like
he got pushed out of society, and he just became more and more. But I literally think that he was paid to like do that.
Yeah, I think
like
somewhere
he literally
along the line,
said he's
like,
acting, right?
Yeah, I
like
think somewhere along the line,
that's what they all do.
Did that?
Yeah, entertainment. That's literally what somebody in chat is saying that that they, you know, in court that he had to argue that he was an entertainer. That's what that's
entertainer.
And his show is entertainment, and it's not trying to influence. You know, he's saying his opinions and similar. Now, what he did, stochastic, they literally created the word stochastic terrorism basically because of what he was doing in trying to sick his audience on the Sandy Hook families. And that's basically what I remember out of Alex Jones. And now he's got to pay up to the tune of $1 billion or beyond. And there's still lawsuits out there on him. But just to finish this out, that Matt thought that it was only a matter of time before the parties broke down after 2008, and it really lined in 99 versus 1%. We're here. The phenomenon is obscured by Trump mania, and the press will try to keep it obscured, but the subtext of campaign 2024 is already the obvious drift of rich and poor voters in opposite directions, which can't end well. Isn't this the conversation we're not having that really matters?
Come down this weekend to Trump mania, we're gonna have. Sorry, I can't keep doing that for too long. Indy will get excited. You know, cream of the crop,
if you've ever, if you search on YouTube for the Alex Jones folk song, somebody took.
I switched to fucking Macho Man. I was doing Trump mania.
I know
Trump mania.
Well, that it would have to be. But if you Google the Alex Jones folk song, it's just outstanding. And wow, whoever did that, it was a few years ago. Love it. Oh my goodness.
Just got knocked, slapped the hell out.
Yeah. We need Adam Green. I've actually personally met Adam Green. I got big issues with Adam Green. PCCC Adam Green. Yikes. Democratic Party operative Adam Green? Yeah. I'm sure he's got plenty to say about Alex Jones, but it comes from a tremendously heavily biased place. I'd listen to some of it. He's a smart guy. He, I think, in part,
don't be rude,
was one of the problems with the Bernie campaign 2020, and his political direction and his political acumen is probably not great, honestly.
What about his political fight club?
It's
what about
even
it?
worse. No, that's Rob Durden's thing.
Damn.
But you know, we're talking about Trump and what they're trying to do to Trump, and I thought that to bring this story alongside it, because it kind of dovetails into it. It was written by Craig Murray. And I think similarly, what they are doing to Imran Khan is what they are trying to do in some ways to Trump. And it's because Imran Khan, we know, wouldn't play ball with NATO effectively. That is going to, I'm guessing, be the assertion by Craig Murray, who wrote this at his blog. And this was picked up by Consortium News, all Indie Media Award honorees, by the way. Yeah, Reef got it. All right. Craig Murray out of Consortium News actually published to his blog, also picked up at popularresistance.org, also an Indie Media Award honoree. Good people. Margaret Flowers and team over there.
Some, I assume, are good people.
Some, I assume, are good people. What's funny is that they took the picture from Wikimedia, which is not WikiLeaks, but Wikipedia. That's the Imran Khan photo. But
Wikimedia.
Now, I don't know if anybody knows, but that Pakistan has imposed a media blackout over the deposed prime minister and thousands of new political prisoners incarcerated in appalling conditions.
Of course they would.
Condemnation in the UK and US has been, of course, non-existent. And our friend Fiorella over at the Convo Couch and RT, she had a lot to say about this week as well over on RT. And I told her that I was going to tie this into the Trump thing. And I mentioned another name, and she said, well, if you do that, then I'll have to make a video debunking you and saying why you're wrong. So I'm not even going to say what that is, but we can certainly tie it into Imran Khan because there are parallels here. So what Craig is saying, that given the large population of the UK and Pakistani origin, the lack of serious media coverage of the overthrow and incarceration of Imran Khan and the mass imprisonment of his supporters is truly extraordinary. Yeah, Chris, have you been paying attention to this story at all?
Actually, read up on it today.
Good.
So
yeah. I know we've covered it on INN News, at least when it was starting to happen. So when he was, rounded up and pulled into legal proceeding. So,
right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, it's normal to me. I mean, if you think about Pakistan's military, how basically it's just basically controls the country. So if you have a control over the military, you have a line to the military, you can change whichever leader you want on there. So I'm just guessing that that's what we do, as far as the State Department does. So
and I
mean,
think
like what happened in Ecuador recently.
This basically all started, and I think that Craig's going to get into it, when, starting in March of last year, when Pakistan was going to try to continue to make deals on oil with Russia. And I think that's really where this started. But Imran Khan last week was sentenced to 3 years in prison and a 5-year ban from politics. Let me make that clear again. A 5-year ban from politics.
No.
For alleged embezzlement of official gifts. This follows his removal as prime minister in a CIA-engineered coup and a vicious campaign of violence and imprisonment against him and his supporters. Craig Murray will call it out for what he sees it. It is currently illegal in Pakistan to
this all happened after he visited Russia, right? This miraculously happened right after Russia.
Amazing, right?
Yep.
Of course. Yeah, I would never think this.
Yep.
Crazy.
The Russians are going to the moon next, and I hear Victoria Nuland is making her way there as well. Yeah,
she's colonizing the moon. That's right. She's already destabilizing their government. It's currently illegal in Pakistan to publish or broadcast about Khan or the thousands of new political prisoners incarcerated in appalling conditions. Again, there have been no protests from the UK or US government. Imran Khan is almost certainly the least corrupt senior politician in Pakistan's history. I admit that's not a high bar. Pakistan's politics are, to an extent not sufficiently understood in the West, literally feudal. Two dynasties, the Sharifs and the Bhuttos, have alternated in power in a sometimes deadly rivalry, punctuated by periods of more open military rule. There is no genuine ideological or policy gap between the Sharifs or Bhuttos, though the latter have more intellectual pretension. I'm guessing that there are Pakistanis that probably disagree with you in that case. But that
so we've got the
go ahead.
What are the Shakespeare families?
The Capulets, and the Montagues.
Capulets
and the Montagues.
And the Montagues, yes.
It's purely
I do
about
not
control.
quaff at you, sir.
It is purely about control of state resources. The arbiter of power has in reality between the military, not the electorate, and they have now put the Sharifs back in power. So Imran's incredible breakthrough in the 2018 National Assembly elections shattered normal political life in Pakistan. Winning a plurality of the popular vote and the most seats, Khan's PTI party had risen from under 1% of the vote in 2002 to 32% in 2018. Now, that again is in a country that allows a third party to rise like that. Dates are important. It wasn't his cricketing heroics, and he was a cricket star, which made him politically popular. In 2002, when his cricket genius was much fresher in the mind than it is now, he was viewed as a joke candidate. In fact, it was his outspoken opposition to U.S. using Pakistan as a base, and particularly his demand to stop the hundreds of dreadful U.S. drone strikes within Pakistan that caused a surge in his support. Yeah, he was staunchly anti-American, and he had the money to basically tell them to go fuck off. All right?
Seems all right.
The Pakistani military went along with him. The reason isn't hard to find, given the level of hatred the USA has engendered through its drone killings, the invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq, and the hideous torture excesses of the war on terror, quote unquote. It was temporarily not in the interest of the Pakistan military to foreground their deep relationship with CIA and U.S. military. However, we know the Pakistan Security Service, ISI, had betrayed Osama bin Laden to the U.S., which hardly improved the popularity of the military and security services. Imran Khan was seen by them as a useful safety valve. It was believed that he could channel the insurgent anti-Americanism and Islamic enthusiasm, which was sweeping Pakistan, into a government acceptable to the West. Yeah, run by an oligarch capitalist. It looks like, well, it would work for them. Good night, Laura, by the way, over in Rockfin. In power, he proved much more radical than the CIA, the British Tories, and Pakistani military had hoped. The belief that he was only a playboy dilettante at heart was soon shattered. A stream of his decisions upset the U.S. and threatened the income streams of the corrupt senior military. Now, I remember the first time I think Imran Khan popped on my radar, it was about 2010 when he created the Khan Academy, which was an online university that anybody could take college-level classes for free and get themselves a free education.
Yeah, I think I did a couple.
Still exists to this day, by the way. That guy, that's him. Khan University, not PragerU, but an actual like online university with real classes and real teachers where you could learn real shit. All right. He didn't only talk about stopping the U.S. drone program. He actually did it. He refused offers of large amounts of money, also linked to U.S. support for an IMF loan for Pakistan to send ground forces to support the Saudi air campaign against Yemen. He didn't want to do that. Muslims killing Muslims. I was told this by one of Khan's ministers when I visited in 2019 on condition of a confidentiality which need no longer apply. Khan openly criticized military corruption, and in the action most guaranteed to precipitate a CIA coup, he supported the developing country movement to move trading away from the petrodollar. He accordingly again sought to switch Pakistan's oil suppliers from the Gulf states to Russia. I cannot state the importance of this.
Russian scum!
Thank you, Keith Olbermann. All right. The Guardian, of course, the chief neocon mouthpiece now in the UK, on Sunday published an article about Khan so tendentious that it took my breath away. How about this for a bit of dishonest reporting? Cool. Right, contentious. In November, a gunman opened fire on his convoy at a rally, injuring his leg in what aides would say was an assassination attempt. Aides say? What does this imply? That it wasn't? Right. Khan had shot himself in the legs as some kind of stunt. It was all a joke. He wasn't actually shot, but fell over and grazed the knee. It's truly disgraceful journalism. It's hard to know whether. No, it's not. It's stenography for the state. For
his
intel.
His gun honorably discharged itself into his leg.
Yep. It's marketing. That's what it is.
It's hard to know.
Marketing a message. That's all it's doing.
It's just hard to know whether the article's astonishing assertion is that Khan's tenure as prime minister led to an increase in corruption in Pakistan is a deliberate lie or extraordinary ignorance. And I would say that it's the latter. It's probably the deliberate lie. I'm not sure whether Emma Graham Harrison, the author of this article, has ever been there. Of course, probably not. I suspect the closest she's been to Pakistan is meeting Jemima Goldsmith at a party. Playboy, dilettante, misogynist.
Jemima.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Jemima Goldsmith.
Well, I'm guessing that's
funny.
That's probably not how it's pronounced, but...
That's probably a real person, but...
I'm guessing it would probably be pronounced...
Jemima?
Jemima.
Jemima?
Jemima?
Jemima.
Jemima.
Joe?
Anyway, but The Guardian hit piece is relentless. It's an encapsulation of the liberal arguments for military intervention Muslim states for overthrowing Islamic governments and conquering Islamic countries in order to install Western norms, in particular the tenets of Western feminism. Again, right here, playboy, dilettante, misogynist, using that type of terminology.
So this means that all the liberals opposing the Iraq war was all bullshit.
No,
I feel like
no.
Playboy, dilettante, misogynist was just like the blurbs on the first cover of Playboy.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah.
But he says that he thinks that we've seen how that playbook has ended in Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, amongst others. The use of the word claim to engender trust of Khan in the Guardian article is studied. He claimed that his years living in the UK had inspired him to wish to create a welfare state in Pakistan. He didn't claim. That's what happened. Why is that a dubious comment from the man who spent the majority of his personal fortune setting up and running a free cancer hospital in Pakistan? His efforts to remove or sideline the most corrupt generals and those most openly in pay of the CIA are described by Guardian as he tried to take control of senior military appointments and began railing against the armed forces' influence in politics. How entirely unreasonable of him to want to eliminate that kind of corruption. Literally, thousands of members of his political party are currently in jail for the crime of having joined a new political party. The condemnation by the Western establishment has been non-existent. Well,
and it's coming here
like
too.
They only like it when you believe in one of two parties. So it's either got to be, the Sharifs or the Bhuttos. There's no room for anybody else. So I think that the ruling elite in Pakistan are fine with that. It's difficult to think of a country besides them where thousands of largely middle-class people could suddenly become political prisoners while drawing almost no condemnation. It is, of course, because the UK supports the coup against Khan. But he feels it's also confident. He feels confident that it also reflects in part the racism and contempt shown by the British political class toward the Pakistani immigrant community, which contrasts starkly with British ministerial enthusiasm for Modi's India. We should not forget New Labour have also never been a friend to democracy in Pakistan, and the Blair government was extremely comfortable with Pakistan's last open military dictatorship under Musharraf. Interesting insights from Craig Murray from across the pond.
And Craig Murray wants you to, donate to him so he can keep doing it.
Yes.
And you should do that.
Yes, support
occasionally
independent journalists. Now, again, he was British ambassador to Uzbekistan way back, rector of the University of Dundee, and he is independent and reader supported. So he also went to
the
jail.
University of Crocodile Dundee. You mean?
He also went to jail, by the way, like 2 years ago, for speaking out against the Scottish Minister of Parliament. And he's incredibly principled. And while I occasionally disagree with him, I have tremendous respect for him. And he's also one of the big champions and fighters for the freedom of Julian Assange. So shout out to Greg Murray on that as well. I've got one more story, and it's a quickie, but it's a fun one, and it's a follow-up. All right. And we're going to talk about Clarence Thomas. Everyone's the billionaire's favorite Supreme Court justice, right?
Old Clarence.
So a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago, we did a ProPublica story about how he had accepted gifts from Harlan Crow, which is a billionaire. He had accepted some vacations, and as it turns out, Crow had paid for his nephew or something to go to some elite prep school. But as it turns out, ProPublica has done a follow-up story to this, and they have found even more billionaires who have been treated to Clarence Thomas, who treated him to luxury travel. So, well, why is this not working here? Oh, I know why.
I mean, there is a reason why he was a very quiet Supreme Court judge and didn't talk a lot. He was out having fun.
Yeah.
So here it is by the numbers. You've got 38 destination vacations. This is since the 1990s. All right. 26 private jet flights. I know I've had almost that many. Not.
Yeah.
12 VIP passes to professional and college sporting events, 8 helicopter flights, and 2 stays at luxury resorts, and 1 standing invitation to an exclusive members-only golf club. All right.
You greedy dirtbag!
The total value of what he is known to have received since 1991, the year he was appointed, is difficult to measure, but it's likely in the millions. I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
What we do know is that these industry titans have given him a stream of luxury vacations that is both more extensive and from a wider circle than it's been previously understood. And the benefactors underwriting his leisure activities share the same ideology that drives his jurisprudence. Go figure. All right. His first billionaire benefactor is likely Wayne Huizenga. And it's not even... Now, Huizenga, I believe, died. I don't even believe that he's alive at this point.
God bless you.
But he famously was the owner of... He owned AutoNation and founded AutoNation, which was at the time the largest car dealership group in the world.
Yes.
He then went on to buy the Miami Dolphins and bring the Florida Marlins, be part of the group that brought the Florida Marlins into baseball to South Florida. Like, he's a big, big dude. But for 20 years, Thomas benefited from his attention going to see the Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, teams he owned several times between the mid-90s, mid-2000s. He was picked up by his personal 737 at least twice in the mid-2000s. And Huizenga gave Thomas something priceless at the time, that standing invitation to his uber-exclusive golf club, the Floridian. Anytime you want, come play golf.
Money is there.
Yeah. All right. He died in 2018, and his son, who is the president of the family's holding company, did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Go figure.
Yeah.
You think this is one of the reasons why corporations are now people? Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Almost like that, huh?
Yeah. Right.
Next, they're going to have private jets be people.
Now, in fairness, ProPublica has not identified any legal cases that Huizenga had at Supreme Court during his documented relationship with Thomas, although he worked in an industry significantly impacted by the court's decisions, meaning the automotive industry, the finance industry. He had several industries, including pro sports. So while some of the hospitality, such as stays in personal homes, may not have required disclosure, he appears to have violated the law by failing to disclose flights, yacht cruises, and expensive sports tickets, according to ethics experts. And there is his financial disclosure showing that he received none gifts in 2021. But there's a picture of him on the sidelines at University of Nebraska football. But what about other justices? So you've got other that have justices have few restrictions on what they can accept. Other members of the court have accepted travel underwritten by wealthy business people. Stephen Breyer accepted a Nantucket wedding flight from a Democratic megadonor. RBG took a tour of Israel and Jordan paid for by an Israeli billionaire. You never hear about that. Right?
No.
But none took the extent of largesse that Thomas has.
Actually, it's written on the back of the like plush doll they sell next to the Barbies.
But
they have it on the back of that.
Breyer and RBG.
But this was just a gift. This was not
right next to Wonder Woman.
Breyer and RBG did disclose them at least. They reported them and said, "Hey, I got this stuff." So it was on the record. I mean, it was. And did it affect their legislation? I don't know, but he's saying here
there's probably stuff off the record too, but you know,
this job is not worth doing for what they pay, but it's worth doing for the principle. That's what he once said when he complained that he sacrificed wealth to sit on the court. He's worth like millions. All right. It's just the height of hypocrisy to wear the robes and live the lifestyle of a billionaire. And that's what OGE and senior ethics official in the government says, right? So here's what I loved and how deep they went. For this story, we examined flight data, emails from airport university officials, tax court filings, and a trove of photographs from personal albums, including cards Thomas's wife, Ginny, sent to friends. Like, they went deep. We also interviewed more than 100 eyewitnesses and other sources, jet and helicopter pilots, flight attendants, airport workers, yacht crew members. Hey, what do you remember about this trip? Right? Security guards, photographers, waitresses, caterers, chefs, drivers, river rafting guides, and C-suite executives. They asked everybody about this.
Riverboat guards.
Right. And
a
free stay at St. James.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Little St. James,
to come up
exactly. Right. Where's the Epstein connection? Exactly. So these are some of the photos, and here's how they described their luxury travel to their friends. Right. In tracking this, right, the cards show that they went with Peggy and Rick and David Sokol.
Peggy.
Right. Cards show them in Florida with the billionaires, and they're hanging out. Best Florida movie theater with friends. That's literally like their private home movie theater right there. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
Sun and fun. And 4 lucky couples. They were joined by other couples, including one of the justice's most vocal advocates, Mark Paoletta, who then worked for the federal government, and his wife. The Sokols took 4 lucky couples to the first Nebraska football game of the season. And they misspelled the word football, by the way. Right? But then they went to this paintbrush ranch just outside Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And
that sounds like the sequel to Brokeback Mountain, if I've ever heard of it.
The property is valued in the low 8 figures in Wyoming, in Jackson Hole. Like, that's $10 million up. $10 million.
I'm sorry, whose hole?
I'm not going there.
What?
Yeah. Yep. And here's the river rafting trip. At the Teton Range, at one point, the Paoletta serenaded the justice with a song that they wrote about him. Oh God, it's nauseating. There it is. There's a picture of them singing their song, like literally. Ugh, so gross.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
He makes us so much money. We love him very much.
He's a top former executive for Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway, who now runs a private equity firm and chairs a holding company that owns a large international shipping and power utility corporation. Right. So they've donated more than $1 million to Republican politicians and groups, along with smaller amounts to Democrats. Yeah, they butter both sides. And that's the whole point. Yep. Shameless, gross. And I love that they can actually find this stuff online, because Clarence Thomas he don't give a fuck. Go ahead. What are you going to do? You're going to come after him?
Honey Badger?
No, it's open. It's out and open. I mean, They don't care. They can't do nothing to us. That's basically what they're saying.
This article,
right.
now I just showed you it in a bunch of screenshots, but this article actually goes a whole lot deeper. If you go to ProPublica.org, they're an outstanding watchdog organization. Big fan of theirs. They did really kind of poorly on election integrity. They did something called Election Land that I did not like, but most of their reporting is actually pretty damn good. And this is really good. They went after Scalia also in the last year or so to look at how he was funded. And we've got a corrupt Supreme Court that has lifetime appointments and tremendous power and influence.
I mean, I would think
if anyone was a lizard person, it's definitely Scalia. I'm just saying.
I think that when you want to have, like, if you're the most corrupt and you want a great spot in government, it's the Supreme Court. You're there for life. You can do whatever you want, and you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Hey. So we got through our stories, everyone. Woohoo! All right. Hour and a half, right on time, right where I wanted to be. Kris, you know how we do things here. You might want to switch the pin from me to Reef on Zoom, so that we can now go into boats smashing into other boats, which is our show within a show, and we're gonna do some Reddit React. And dude, Reef's been curating some funny shit all week long or all day or so, and let's do that. So let's do some boats. But yeah, by the way, thank you to Kris. Love having you here. Appreciate your article.
Appreciate it. Thank you for reading it.
Yeah, and more of it. But do more. Give us more from the outside. That's what we need. We need more outside perspective for sure. But yeah, let's do Jimmy and the boats.
And I watch mindless shit. Boats that smash into other boats.
Yeah, it's time for boats, everyone.
It's a Reef show. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. We didn't get its time.
Boats. Wow. Well, you didn't get its time. What?
I didn't. I
definitely pressed it.
I didn't hear it. Now I hear it.
There you go.
Okay. I want to make sure that that's working.
There you go.
Yeah.
It is now.
Cool.
Thanks everyone in the chat.
Boats.
Appreciate y'all.
This is a boat. With music that we need.
Nice. Bro, that's a champ.
I mean, that's you kind of got to roll with that, you know?
That's a champ.
Good for you. I got another boat, I think.
Bless you, man. That's great shit.
Yep.
Yeah. That was one. I think there's 20 of them.
What's it going? That looks like the Jersey Shore. What is that?
Something. Cthulhu and monster, maybe? You know.
That's scary as shit.
An old god.
An owl god? Did you say owl god?
What is it? Old god.
Oh. Yes, an old god.
Like Lovecraft shit. The photo of Amish selling purple haze at market just made my day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Motherfucker's selling that fucking purple haze.
Wait, he's selling Delta 8 and CBDs.
Local hemp, CBD, sure, whatever.
That don't surprise me. Amish people get down.
Give them the regular shit too. They need that rum spring. It'd be cool, you know.
Yeah. What are you thinking? They ain't got a lot to do.
I want to see Jesse Jet do this with a joint. That would be nice.
Wow.
This is gonna be a fail. Yeah, that'd be me.
That's great.
These are cannabis infused strawberries, and I am very much okay with that.
Like dipped.
That looks so good.
Like weird chocolate dipped strawberries. Oh, yummy.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yep.
So
I'd tear that shit up.
What do we name this? You gotta give this piece a name.
Mr. Wax.
What do we call this?
The Hulky Wax.
Mr. Wax. Let us know in the chat what you want to call that. What's the name for that?
Candle in a bong.
What do you call this?
Wow. A 4.2 pound blunt.
Yep.
What? I call that a waste of weed. That's what I call that.
Yeah.
What?
That's
nah, we got it.
People.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, 100 people. You share it to the little party.
Wow.
I found the asshole smoking all my weed.
Seriously.
That fucking bitch. Found you. Here we go.
What? Are we rolling here? That is a mega joint. Jesus.
I wish it was. I think it's just incense, but one can believe.
Oh my god, look at the size of that monster.
Okay. But find that equipment.
That's all old radio back there.
Yes, Colin.
Yeah, like what is that? What is that? A
1985
Ravnavox? Like what is that? Oh, you got the D batteries in there and shit.
You got
the fucking ghetto blaster out here. I'm down, dude.
I love it. It's got the dial, so you could tune the radio. It's got that old school dial.
Here you go. I figured I'd bring a real one. Andy remembers those. Those are bong filters. See that? You can get that.
Sure.
He's using it as a regular filter.
Sure.
And grind a weed. Put it in the thing.
Scoop it in.
Pack.
How much freaking? What size is this? More grinding, more packing, more grinding. Okay.
Like, all right, that's enough weed. Let's fold the top.
Okay.
And just load that into a shotgun and fire it at your face.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Everyone's had this guy, right?
Is this coming to me? Yes, I can do it by myself this time.
Oh no!
Oh! What was that?
He volcanoed it. Yes, I can do it by myself this time.
Yes, I can do it
at least he took the slide out. No, he didn't. Oh, you son of a bitch.
No.
Oh,
no, he didn't.
Son of a bitch. You murdered it. You fucker.
Yeah. I gotta hope that's just by one person and we use it with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Dude,
well, sometimes that
smells
happens.
like bong water on top of it. That's nasty shit.
That's the worst part. Yeah. Here you go. Have you ever done one of these? I'll have one weed, please. It was like a fucking accordion nonsense.
That's funny.
So wait, when did he die inside? Was it when the eyes buggered out?
I think that was when.
Go start Obama. Yeah, dude, I was thinking Harlan. Yes, Harlan.
Obama's elf.
Yes, Obama's elf.
Waiting in line at McDonald's, highs, balls, practicing my order in my head. This guy.
2 double cheeseburgers.
Mike Wazowski.
2 double cheeseburgers. 2 double cheeseburgers.
2 double cheeseburgers. Well, speaking of which,
Indy this week. Nice. I use the tomatoes as the bun. Bro, you're looking in my house. Tomato mayo. Although with burger, I don't know if I'm down with the burger on the mayo. I'm a purist.
Nah, you'll be fine.
I'm a purist with the spicy barbecue sauce or ketchup on the burger.
No mayo. Mayo should not be on burgers. Sorry.
Although
mayo should not be on burgers.
That's pretty decent. Like that's a Jersey tomato bun, guys. That's right up our alley here. You got two Jersey guys
after
here.
That, you're gonna have to drink your Pepsi Bismol.
Well, they just might as well take it over.
Yep.
Wintergreen is the one smell that will almost instantly make me puke, by the way.
Good to know.
Pepto-Bismol.
Why they give me these big onion slices? My burger looks like Steve Harvey.
Oh, shit.
That's messed up. That's messed up.
Yep. You got that big onion.
Survey says.
You're dead. No more bananas. This ape only wants Powerade.
Nice. Yep. I thought he was eating Jello too, but yeah.
No more bananas.
Beaver loves mayo on the burger. Good for you, mayo. Not a guy. Texas burger only mustard, no mayo. Right. So,
mustard.
Every part of the country's going to fight over this, but I'm down
mustard.
with the spicy barbecue. That's my thing.
Barbecue is good too. Anything but mayo.
Yeah. Here we go. We made it to Dad Zone. So
nice. Oh, I was at a playground with one of these things today with my kids.
Yeah. Well, do they know how to do it like this?
I was today years old when I found out that that's how you're supposed to play on that thing.
No.
Like what? You spin?
Nice
I've always
That's gonna get a kid hit in the head. I'm telling you right now.
No way.
Someone's gonna get
back
hook kicked.
Yeah.
Do it face first somehow.
Oh, that does not.
Here you go. Wee!
Oh my God!
Wee!
Is
that a real kid?
Yeah, that's a real kid.
Yeah, that's a real kid.
That kid's moving.
Like a fake kid.
That's a real kid.
That kid's
That looks
moving.
like
Dude.
That looks like a dog.
Wee!
Oh my God!
Wee!
Oh my God!
I love it so much.
Oh
poor
God!
kid. Poor kid.
So, the most important question is asked: how's potty training going?
He pissed in the floor. He laid in it and was doing piss angels.
He pissed on the floor, laid in it, and is doing piss angels.
At least he's not doing Kris Angels. Come on.
Yep.
Kris Angels.
I know, right?
I
so
want
can
do
you
a show with you and Angel so bad with the Kris Angel show? Come on, I mean that practically writes itself. All right.
So my friends an elementary school teacher in New Jersey sent me this picture. What they confiscated this month.
Is that pork roll?
Can you? I don't know.
It's got to be. Pork
Explain
roll.
me. Why would this be in an elementary school for one? Like in Jersey.
It fell off the truck. What do you want?
Okay. I don't know. They got meat.
I'm bringing home rump roasts. Elementary school.
Like,
gotta be for the teachers.
What? Gotta be the fucking
teachers taking it home.
Went to the deli, got some nice smoked meat. Brought it home. We'll shift a little bit to Boston.
Hey, what's up? What are you doing? It's 5 p.m. You gotta get to bed, okay? You gotta get back on the school schedule. Come on, let's go. I understand that it's sad, but come on, you had the time of your life. Who doesn't love going back to school? You get to see all your old pals, the halls are clean, plus you can show everybody your new scar. Look, I'm not saying
God.
You're out of the house. What I am saying is I'm glad you're not going to be in the house. So, there's a big difference, mainly being, you know, you. The whole summer, no joke. And how many books have you read? Well then, let's wrap this up. I ordered 50 notebooks, backpacks for every day of the week. I got pens, pencils, slapper keepers, trapper keepers, and I even got my hands on a stack of those Lisa Frank folders with the fresh prints. Summer can be a magical time full of possibility, wonder, and love. Now, he's dead. Hey, do you know who your teacher is? It doesn't matter who your teacher is.
Oh
But
my
seriously,
God.
we've got to do well in school, because just like we train our bodies in the iron paradise, we've got to
Close your
train our
eyes.
minds in
It's
the...
so bad. It's so good.
Say this is why.
Yo, you have got to get a scholarship to go to college, because I refuse to pay a cent for rent unless you cop knowledge. You're a diamond in the rough, a shining piece of coal that would...
Piece of coal? Wait, you think I'm in the rough?
What?
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 Wow. Wow. That dude's got his impersonation skills down. And they used to put him
He
on
really
stage,
does.
and now he just TikToks.
Yeah.
Oh!
That hurt.
Yeah, dude. You gotta look where you're going, kid.
That's gonna leave a mark. Oh!
Yep. Oh.
That's rough.
That's rough. The dogs are probably dragging her after that too.
No,
Watch
dogs
out,
always
it's
look
the
at you like
mailbox.
the dogs always look at you like, oh man, what the hell is he doing?
Big time oof.
Yeah.
Oh God. What's back
Yeah.
there?
Gross. Just put it in your mouth and swallow it and pretend like you like it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta refresh it. Hold on. Why does it 5 seconds every time? Really? Really? That's what you do to me? And then it's like, no, I don't want to refresh.
Yes. Where's the
Put it in
sound?
your mouth and swallow it and pretend like you like it.
You turned into Beavis.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it. Oh God. Next.
Yeah, I feel seen is basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
Sean Miller, you seem told
He's had that
mailbox.
convo.
Say duh.
Duh. Duh.
Hey, say what?
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 What? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Oh my God, that's great. You know, my brother actually has my brother actually has a video of his kid at 3 going, fucking annoying. It's really good.
Perfect.
Take gloves. Come on.
God,
That's how you fight.
damn.
Suck a punch.
Whip.
Oh.
Dude.
Is that powerful?
Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
Yeah, that was
I'm
good.
gonna punch you in the face
Yeah.
now.
That's my
Punch
turn.
you in the face.
My turn.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Here we go. Just go a slide. I was like, dog's like, all right, I'll slides. You can help me up. Get
Come on,
up
Tushy.
there, dog.
Whee!
Whee!
We did it. We did it. And you froze again.
Yep. I froze again.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, you made it.
Did I freeze again?
I don't know. Did you know? It was
Apparently.
not your camera. Not your
I see it.
camera. No, your camera's good. I thought you're
Okay, good. Cool.
at the end of it. Yeah, you're good. Oh.
Look, this is Jesse right now.
Oh, with the raccoons.
Why won't you put him down?
Because I love Rocky.
You love your
I love Rocky. Oh, I think he loves you too.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't?
Yes, he does.
Oh, he does? But we gotta go bye-bye.
Oh.
I love the little raccoon noises.
Oh, he's so happy.
We gotta go bye-bye.
I know.
He's just chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, he just wants to
I'm
snuggle with
surprised.
her. Oh, look at him. He's like eating on her hair. Oh,
We gotta go bye-bye.
that's
say New Jersey
adorable.
raccoons.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not like Jersey raccoons. They'll fuck your shit up.
Oh yeah.
Trash panda. That's right,
look.
Rick. Little trash panda.
Look, boobies. Look at the boobies.
What the?
They're blue-footed and everything.
What?
Look at those blue-footed boobies.
What the fuck?
They're blue-footed boobies.
Sure.
Everyone's favorite bird. You know.
Sure.
Here we go. Help him.
You are literally the most stupid looking creature in existence.
He's
Oh
stuck.
my
Help him.
Oh my god, he can't get out the door.
Help him, he's stuck.
No. Cats are dicks, as Colin loves to say.
And sometimes they're just dumb. Sometimes dogs are dicks too. No. Bitch, I'll do it again.
Oh, I'm
I'll
shouting in your
fucking do
ear.
it again.
Right in his ear.
This is like, like,
Oh,
touch
don't
the
you
butt? No, I hate you. Don't touch the butt. I'll touch the butt again.
Don't
no,
you move, Jimmy.
No,
Don't you
I
move.
won't touch the butt.
Don't you fucking do it.
Arr, 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 arr.
Don't you move.
We good? We good? Arr, arr, arr. Don't you do it. You better not do it again.
Oh my god.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, what do you have to say on the matter? Very good, sir.
Look at that
This is
little
the
kitty
tiny little microphone.
Yeah, look at the kitty
I
microphone.
know. Meow. Excuse me, sir. This is just what the fuck.
Buddy, you put a hole in it. You put a
hell's
hole
that?
in my wall. I have to cover you with a picture frame. And I don't like doing that.
What?
Stop chewing my walls. Look at my couch. God dang, boy.
Why does he sound like the fucking gay guy on Family Guy?
Yes.
Like, why does he sound like that? Oh my god.
You gotta put him out.
You're chewing a hole through it.
Oh no.
Come on, Boa.
Okay, I feel bad for bringing this and laughing at it, and every one of you is gonna feel bad for laughing at it as well. But it is funny. It's okay. It is funny.
Lose the egg in the carton and don't put it back in the carton. Take it out and throw it away. Like, why? Bro, are you gonna make something out of freaking egg? Stop calling me. Anyways. Okay.
What's under
I'm like,
that?
bro, I'm gonna have to clip some of this. I'm gonna have to clip
no.
pieces.
There's a bird on her head.
I have a feeling I know what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna spray some more just to be safe. Don't do that. Don't do what I did. Don't spray all that. Do not.
I can't watch.
Anyways, you crack your egg. If this turn, if this turn out bad, I'm gonna
wait for it.
Oh, fuck.
There goes the egg.
And on the pan. It's like his little feet were on the pan.
Yep, there goes the egg.
Jesus. Yeah, there's no
God.
why would you have a bird on your head? But okay.
I mean, Bird's gonna be there, you know.
Yeah.
Got a little 2-piece and a biscuit.
Yeah.
You know. Squeeze the pickle on there.
Ew.
It's a pickle.
Oh my god. Why are you shaking
Wow.
like a stripper?
Bitch, there's chicken here. You know,
Oh my God.
I gotta shake for the chicken.
He was dancing. I don't think that was dancing.
He was dancing. Why are you shaking like a stripper?
Jesus.
Oh God. What else I got? I got this one. This is everyone's new ringtone. He was hitting that vibrato, dude. What do they have a saying about cats? What is it?
Cats are dicks. Ah!
Something about
cat.
curiosity.
Oh,
I think he's just like, congratulations, you played yourself. This one's good. Here we go. And action.
Ah!
Speaking of cats, my wife. Speaking of cats, my wife had a cat that was so vicious that she used to have like a loft up top. When you walk under it, it would jump off the loft, then jump on you, and just attack you.
That makes sense.
It was vicious, man.
I gotta restart this one. Hold on. Or else we won't get the last 5 seconds, and those are needed.
Wanna go down? Can you go downstairs?
Okay, it's Spuds McKenzie.
It's going down. Here it goes. Nah, poor dog.
Yes, Rick, I got that one too.
Dude,
Spuds McKenzie. Eating it.
He just took a leap on that one. These are those Jersey raccoons, right?
That's
what these are.
That's a rat.
Wow. I think it's a rat, dude.
That's a rat.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Welcome to Jersey.
Like, dude, what cheese that motherfucker be eating? What kind of trap you got to get for that? You might as well get a bear trap, you know? How did this get in here? This is supposed to be earlier.
Yeah.
Like,
he's doing it all at once.
he's fucking doing the dishes,
and
washing the kid.
Oh God. Sure. What? How better way to keep your kid entertained than to keep him in the sink while you're washing dishes?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, this is Pet Assassin, I think.
What does he do?
Oh,
he's trying to trick
he
the
fucking drops
skaters.
this like wheel, yeah.
He just smiles.
He's like, yeah, I got you, motherfucker. Yeah.
Revenge.
Fucking little shit.
That's like that scene in Big Daddy when Adam Sandler and the dude are standing. They're putting the stick by where the skaters go. It's like, oh, you should have watched out for that big stick there.
Yeah, I hate my father.
Try to get him to fall over you. Hey, my dad.
Clementine, I cleaned your room. Well, I have to clean it 'cause, well, you're the gross one. What am I to do? Stop being gross. Oh, it's cleaning right now. I just need 10 minutes. Oh my gosh.
It's like, stop being gross. Apparently they had to like quarantine the cat.
Took over the shower. That's gross.
Yeah. You're saying, Chris?
So one of my neighbors like walks her cat. It's weird. It's weird to see that. Very odd.
Walking a cat? Yes, that would be weird.
Yeah, on a leash.
There you go. Speaking of walking.
Yeah.
Catwalk. That's the
fucking catwalk. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my pants. Too what?
Come on, attack.
Pow! I got that motherfucker. He did too. Like,
I want to see blood.
yeah, fuck your fashion. Shit's ugly. That's a terrible shirt. Who wants to live here?
What? Oh god.
Anybody?
Oh god.
Anybody?
Yeah.
No
How much is the rent at this place, you think?
I'm guessing that's a woman that lives there because I don't know of any
Most likely.
self-respecting dude that would live in a cat house.
Yeah.
No, there's some eccentric. You know, got out there, put all these stones in by hand. Anyway, on to our regularly scheduled programming.
Sure.
Yeah. I used to
That
be able
boy
to do
got
that, but
talent.
that was in my 20s.
Nice.
That was in my circus days.
My circus days.
Yeah, yeah. Oh god.
I stayed home more than around that time. You know?
You do some this is like right before you went on that cliff diving gig, right?
Oh boy. I see it. Oh god.
Oh my god, dude.
That hurt.
Oh.
Yikes. He's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay, folks.
He is okay. But he definitely
French fried when he should have pizzaed.
he definitely did that. Next. Tell me what this is.
Is that a walking stick thing?
What is that?
What the fuck?
It's the alien.
That's that alien.
Fuck?
This is what Mitch McConnell really looks like. You know?
That's accurate.
It's too fast. He's too fast for Mitch.
Too fast.
What
yeah, but that's
the-
because he's got to he's got to put the skin suit on. You
Is
know?
that a chameleon?
He's
Is
a
that
little slow because
chameleon?
of that.
That's what comes out of his head.
Right.
Opens
That's
up
from
and
Rick and
jumps out.
Morty.
Well, it's just
Nice.
a big zipper.
Ed Heller, that's from Rick and Morty. That's a winning comment right there.
Here you go.
You gotta choke it first, yep. It's just not as sexy with him doing it.
His face. Just the look he gives. That's funny.
That's great. Zastia.
Zastava.
Where do they make a Zastava? Is that a Russian?
I don't know.
That looks like
Maybe.
German.
This is definitely Russian. Do you see
they have
what he's trying to give this bear, Randy?
Yeah, they have a
Cheeseburgers,
fascination
Randy.
hanging out with bears.
Don't dangle meat in front of a bear.
Like, here, you want McDonald's? It's Tasty Burger.
Now you can eat that shit.
Хорошо, стоп. Мясо.
Yeah, not real meat.
You know, it's bad when a bear won't eat it.
Oh, man.
Like, literally, bears will eat a rotten deer carcass. Like,
yeah.
you know.
Bro, that is... Wow. Oh my god! Dude, why are you insisting that this bear eat McDonald's? No, dude, no. Alright, fine, no.
He literally fucking spit it out, dude.
Wow. I'll tell
I
you,
know
that
what I
ain't
do
my
when I run into a
kids.
bear.
That ain't my kids.
Yep.
They'll scarf up
Now you know-
McDonald's any time of day. I'll wake them up right now. They'd have McDonald's.
Now you know what to do when you run into a bear. You just throw a bag of McDonald's with you, carry it inside.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you're safe.
Well, this is. I hope the Jersey Turnpike.
Too smooth. Not enough potholes.
It's not.
Yeah, too clean.
Looks like Germany. Somewhere in Scandinavia. Oh,
that sucks.
hey, now. Watch out for that tree.
Dude, holy shit.
That's rough, man.
Oh
Was
my
that
god.
head on, or he'd run right into him? Looks
No,
like he
rear-ended.
ran into his back, yeah. Oh, he
Yeah.
got rear-ended. How the hell?
Yeah.
How fast
Yeah, where did
was
that car come from? Like-
driving?
It just appeared.
Appeared. The biker is fine. He's okay. You know.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I love the safari. Ostrich.
Swamp chicken.
Look at that
You
face.
can see it like go into his mouth. Okay, I personally think I think it's enough. I think it's enough.
Oh my god! Don't no! Don't do.
Okay. Yep, that was enough.
Yeah, it was enough.
Oh, fuck me.
Okay, I think that is personally enough.
I love her.
Pet him. Pet him.
No.
Hurry and pet him.
Oh, okay, I bet him that's enough. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
He's licking her.
Dang.
Oh my god.
The drive-through at Safari is just awesome. by
What
the
is
way.
that? Where is this?
Bison.
No, like where is this place?
There's probably a couple around. I don't know where this one specifically.
They don't let you
he's
open up the
drooling
window.
all over her. Oh, gross. Oh, that is
That's
foul. Oh, that is foul.
He's having a good time. Would you eat this? Would you?
No.
Would you
it's
eat?
Fukushima shrimp.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yes.
This shit is glowing. Excuse you.
It's the Chris Richards sushi.
It's bad when you blacklight shrimp and it looks like that.
that's,
good.
that's the FBI among the group threads, is what you're telling me, huh?
Looks like someone's bed cheats.
Yeah.
That was for him.
Carolina Reaper chili. It's the world's hottest chili. And I'm wearing gloves right now because all of that heat, well, it comes from these seeds right here. Now, I just came back from Beast where they held Melbourne's annual chili eating competition. And competitors had to compete eating these chili.
He did that on purpose. Liar.
Look,
that face.
That face.
That face.
That realization that you fucked up. The Reaper pepper.
Yep.
Yes, the Carolina Reaper. That's right, Ed. Oh, I just watched him go near his eye with that. I'm like, no.
Both of you were like, no.
I know what's coming.
No,
and it's hurting.
don't. Everyone saw this. This is one of my the favorite memes from this.
Round one.
Alabama boat.
Street Fighter music. What is it?
That was a little loud, but that's okay. Iver.
Higer.
Hager.
Hadouken.
Hey,
I like
you
Tiger.
had that dude. That dude was on, That dude was on Tara Reid's You had that dude.
Yep.
What? Oh, we got sound.
I heard an echo from someone.
Yes, we had echo for a minute.
But yeah, we had the voice actor for Kin on Tara. So, you know, I should have asked for like a soundbite from him on that. You know, we got to call him and ask him again.
Holy Hey. Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
Out this door?
That's where.
Right.
I'm out.
Just on the other side, I can only imagine him going,
Where are you
oh
going?
yeah. You know? This is like
the Kool-Aid guy, yep.
He just Kool-Aid bared his way through the fucking fence.
Yeah, so it's use cheap wood.
This is a major party foul.
Oh.
And I bet you it's not his house. The person lives there.
No,
like,
it's definitely not his house.
Yeah.
You're not invited no more. Get out.
You're not invited no more. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, anyone gonna go bungee jumping?
Oh.
Dude.
At least there was one of them.
Oh my god.
That's gonna hurt your feet.
I'm not the water. The water. I'm not necessarily worried about. It's that fucking elastic string that's like, you know, God knows how many velocities that be going. You know,
Rick. Hadouken.
What do you think's gonna happen with that guy? Like
he's gonna run somebody over.
Oh fuck, dude!
I don't think he's moving.
That's a bit. No, he is. He's good. Yeah, he's good.
Oh my god! Yeah, careful of copyright. That's right.
Yeah. Don't worry. These are all fair use reactions.
That's right, YouTube. Fair use.
We are reacting to this footage. And you're definitely going to react to this shit.
And it's public.
Hey, watch out! Watch out!
Publicly available on Reddit and Twitter.
No! They're surrounded by fire!
Stop using the witchcraft on me to get the fire off me!
Yeah. Tom Cruise, help me.
Help me, Oprah Winfrey!
Mr. Biden, come on down here.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God! Help me, Allah! Ah! Help me, Tom Cruise!
Help me, Tom Cruise! There we go. Yeah, you got it, MMH.
Why?
Oh, the best is the look back. The look back. Oh, no.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Well,
Didn't she look before she...
She didn't know there was a pole there. Wait, what did she say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's
something. Not in English, I don't think.
Well, Ivanka Trump did not do well there.
You didn't
No,
warn
she
me.
didn't. No, Ivanka did terribly there.
I don't care, do you?
So, what is this? What barbershop and in what life? like what? What is that?
Spinach head.
What is that?
You're gonna have a bad time.
Like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, is that gonna work? Is that the look you were going for? I don't know.
How you gonna go to sleep?
So he'll manage. Then it'll just all the leaves will come down. You know.
Right.
So how many genders are there?
How many genders are there?
I don't know. I just got it.
I don't know. I just got here.
Why? Oh, we got it. See, it pauses.
Crash.
last 5 seconds at the. But if I refresh it, it's fine.
It's the deep state.
Whatever. We'll use Twitter, and they apparently don't.
Oh God.
Good water.
That's good water. That's some good water.
It's the water boy.
That's some good water.
That's the quality H2O.
That's some high quality H2O. That's some high quality H2O.
What the fuck is going on here?
Tackling fuel. Tackling fuel.
Yeah. Taking fuel.
Tackling fuel.
Is this the aliens? They're just on the subway now?
No, that's a French mime. That would be my guess. Yeah, France.
What does the shirt say? Love thy mother or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the proof. That's all you needed. They exist.
So, this is a highly educational depiction of what happened on that rich people sub. Play.
That sucks.
Ew. Can I say again?
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. It's just like Doom graphics. That's great.
It's like that ugly fish that's down there is like, told you guys not to come over here.
The blobfish. You know the blobfish doesn't look shitty there. It's only when you pull him up that he's look like a blobfish.
Oh yeah.
You know, like he's at that pressure.
That's
like
like
he's
what happened
good.
at the end of Endgame.
This will freak me out. I could not do this.
Oh my god, this shit is fucking like the anxiety.
So the reason I kept pushing is I thought it was gonna get wider.
No.
But as I'm getting closer, I realize it's an illusion.
Oh my god.
What? Where is he? In a cave?
Yeah. They do like cave.
It's getting lower.
Yeah, and like there's less water, less space to breathe.
God. I feel like I'm gonna get stuck.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm like claustrophobic already. I'm dying.
I know, dude.
Bro, you're killing me. No, stop! Stop! You're gonna be stuck. They're gonna have to get you out.
It's like a never-ending MRI.
Oh, come on, bro.
What?
He was never seen again.
He was never seen again.
Right? Exactly.
Fade to black.
We found that phone 6 weeks ago. And no,
Give him a
dude.
couple days. He'll thin out.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Boom.
That edit is very good.
Boom.
See a little kid try to stop it.
Yeah, like her body,
It's
like
like,
her,
come back.
her soul leaves her body. Yes.
Oh god. All right. You know how we end things here.
We do.
So, and this is less than 7 seconds, so I can play it.
Watch this.
Oh my god.
Anyway, watch this.
Like, oh my
Somebody-
god, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody
So
knows how
watch
to
this.
stop, drop, and roll.
That motherfucker got lit up.
That's definitely down
So
south. Definitely down south.
this was in Plum, Pennsylvania.
Oh boy. House go boom.
What?
House go boom. Boiler?
House do go boom.
Gas line.
You think gas line? Yeah,
Most likely.
gas leak or whatever. That's a pretty good one, though. I mean, that's
Propane. No.
That's big.
propane and propane accessories. Also, rest in peace, Dale Gribble. The Gripple Report.
The Gribble Report will continue forever. Dale will live on forever. All right. Anyway. All right. Finally, we have the schedule for this week. Tomorrow night, you guys are in for a treat because while there's no American tradition, Jesse Jett will be joining Crab for Politically Homeless, and they're going to be talking about this country folk song that is the craze of media, and is this a hoax or what the hell is this? And then, of course, about the horrors and the...
Try that in a small town? That's what they're talking about?
And the wildfires of Maui also. Bobby?
The song is...
Rick Solis,
the rich men above Richmond, I think. Something like that.
Great Rich, yeah, something like that. The Great Rich Men of Richmond, or I don't know. But anyway...
Rich Men Above Richmond.
Tuesday night, we've got the night off. Nothing scheduled. That doesn't mean that there won't be anything published INN, but we just don't have a live stream schedule.
Miko Peled, probably.
Right.
Tuesday.
The premiere for INN News, Miko Peled with Colin and Reef. Wednesday, we'll have Colin and Reef doing INN News. Thursday night, we'll have a new...
And Tuesday, I'll be on Misty.
Right. Tuesday night, Reef's on with Misty, 6 o'clock Eastern, 6:15-ish. Nobody wants to work anymore Thursday night. And then Friday is our big day. We got Angel in the afternoon, then Tara, Politics of Survival. I don't know who she's going to have. And then we'll have Boats that we just did just now. That'll be its own show on Friday night. Saturday, you missed a great bitch if you missed with Colin and Reef and Misty this past Saturday. And I think she's planning on doing one this week. And then we'll be back here.
We should be getting some more guests for that.
I think we're going to be back here for How Do We Miss That next Sunday night. I have a family thing during the day on Sunday. I'm hoping we're going to be able to make it and get some stuff done. I'm guessing we shouldn't have any issues with that. So, and then actually a week, not next week, but the week after that is our 2-year anniversary for How Do We Miss That, which actually predates INN. And we did the show for about 3 months, 2.5 months, and then we created a network. But I'm excited to kind of whip it over, do it over again, and at least celebrate 2 years, and then probably we're going to go on break for September. We'll see. At least for How Do We Miss That?
2,000 years later.
Right? Everybody needs a break. I'm doing American Tradition. I'm doing this other show with Himbo. I'm doing a lot of producing and other stuff. Back to school, etc. So we're probably going to look to take the month of September off for How Do We Miss That Sunday nights, but we'll see.
It's a great American tradition.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Tim. No, that's not Tim Pool. That's Tim Dillon. I knew it was a Tim.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you see, you can catch Kris over on the Substacks, right? Substack.com/@Kris Legion. That's his personal thing. Or you can go to chrislegion.substack.com, all one word, and you can check out his articles there. He's also publishing over to indienewsnetwork.substack.com.
Yep.
All right, man. That's it. I'm gonna say thank you. I love everyone.
Write it and we'll do it live.
I love the 33 people. Wow, Pasta's co-hosting Jimmy again tomorrow. That's awesome. Thank you for letting us know, Gamer.
It's been great watching. Really great on him. He's been great on there. Really cool.
Yep. Misty had a good show last night. Agreed. Yep. So Pasta, shout out to our brother Pasta for hosting the Jimmy Dore show. That's great. And I tried to listen to that Marianne Williamson interview, and I having a hard time getting through it. Wow, every single thing that she basically has to say, I could debunk. It was terrible. Happy birthday, Anthony, Comrade Kitty. INN subscriber. I think we also did get a super chat.
Birthday.
I know we got one from Oz earlier, so thank you to anyone that dropped super chats or over on the Rockfin. We actually got a chatter over on Rumble at one point tonight, so good to see you. Thank you for not being totally fake views with only 3 watching now. Like I say every week, I hate it here sometimes, but also to keep questioning everyone's motivations. You know,
keep listening to what Little Birds have to tell you, everyone. Good night.
Mwah. Ciao, baby.
Ciao, baby.
Julia.
Julia.
Indie News Network, collaborative family of independent content creators. Co-hosted normally by me, Indie. I'm founder and editor of Indie Left News and Indie Media Today. I got Reef Breland sitting next to me.
At Kennedy News.
Is Andrew Rivera on The Handsome Cynic?
It's Politics and Survival.
My name is Jesse Jett.
It's American Tradition.
What's up, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden.
I mean, I mostly make art for INN.
Big Man Crab Joe. Keep up those great videos.
Hey guys, it's Yeti. Coming at you.
Hello, my name is Lucy from Blue Moon Red Wine.
This is Kris Legion.
Keep fighting that good fight out there, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Who are these people?
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry.
My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually